Yo, it's Dim_4, Dim_4 here with today's video. Let me just grab my headphone so that we've got as few problems as possible. So today we're doing, obviously I missed yesterday's stream, so today we're doing a Magic the Gathering stream as per the schedule, which I can always refresh if necessary on. But yeah, we do Magic the Gathering on Fridays. Tomorrow I will do the art stream that I missed on Thursday. Unfortunately, I was quite tired from work and I just couldn't be bothered, I'll be honest. But we'll have off days. So today we're going to do some Magic the Gathering lore. I know we've been doing raw videos for the past couple of ones, but I just feel like sitting down, doing a bit of lore, chilling a bit. I'm going to be a tiny, teensy bit quiet, just because at the moment I am also playtesting a deck, or at least before stream I was. So who knows what will happen with that. So I'll just bring this up. So my friend has a deck, basically. And I'm using it to basically just slam against my own deck. Also looking up some life gain individuals. I have something called AQA. Let me just check if it's got anything that spoils for me. It does not. Okay. I'm just testing it out, seeing if this is a way I could. Ooh, fuck. Oh, that's annoying. Well, oh well. But yeah, let me just. Is this all counted as part of it? Fuck's sake. Okay, I might have to just delete it all. It kind of all has to go. Let me just memorize it all. Give me a sec. I don't actually remember half that shit. Bam, bam, 3, 9, 3, 9. You're out and tapped. You're out and tapped. You're out. Oh yeah, you're also tapped. Basically, I tapped these two to bring in the Talisman of Progress. Tap the Talisman of Progress for 1 white mana to bring in Weathered Wayfarer, which reduces both our life totals by 1 at least once. Turn 1, this should have happened, to be honest. Hold on. I should have lost this one, turn 1, not that turn. And then we bring it back up. I go over to orange. If you want to know what this is, by the way, that I'm using, it's called AYOA. This is the whiteboard function on it. And then for my turn, I remove that. After playing, I use Dead Rat to directly attack the person, so that becomes 38. And that's basically my turn visually on here. But then I can just pull it back up, choose red, and start working on his turn. So I'll probably be doing that in the background. In my hands, I have, my stuff. I've got Pox Plague, Oran Frostfang, Swamp, and Deadly Brew. I've currently played and tapped a Swamp and a Witherbloom Campus. I've got a Path of Sanctuary out. I'm attacking with Engine Rat, which is, I don't imagine you'd attack with a creature that's designed for land generation when you've specifically removed land to get for it. And then I've got Blood Artist as well, in case anyone fucks with me. Essentially, the idea would basically just be to use a mixture of Pox Plague and just continuously attacking to wipe out like half of my opponent's health and then wipe out the rest of it and heal myself back using just the creatures I have out. But who knows how it's going to be against it. So anyway, let me just move out to the side. I'll make it extra small so that I can see it, but it's not in the way of any of my stream stuff. Recently, I've had a problem where it keeps going on to top chat rather than live chat, so I don't see everything. If I've missed any comments due to that, that's quite frustrating, but there's nothing really I can do about it, unfortunately. Other than just, stop using what I use. What's going on here? There we go, that's what I wanted to see. Alright. So the plan is basically now we are going to go over to the lovely little entire history of Magic the Gathering. I've had this video for a while. I don't know who the creator is because I don't see people's names. I'll try and bring it up real quick. Hold on. Spice 8 Rack. Now, I've never watched any of this guy's videos before, but I was
brought to you by my patrons and CoolStuffInc.com.
Scared the shaman. Basically, this guy seems to have... I thought that his video looked really good, just covering everything about Magic, so I thought I'd just, go right for it. Anyway.
A list of topics and content warnings can be found in the description. My name is Spice A-Rack, aka Soy Celiaco, and this is the entire
he just fucking said it immediately.
Story of Magic the Gathering. Let's go!
All right.
In the beginning,
In the
There
beginning.
was this chunky dragon who birthed all the other dragons on Dominaria, two of which were Nicol Bolas and Ugin. The others are cool but died and don't matter. Dominaria
Real.
is a plane of existence in Magic the Gathering, separated from the rest by the
Very fast on that little bit. In the Nicol bonus video that I watched, they went like, oh, they meant this, they meant that, meant this. But I guess he's got an hour to go through the whole thing, so valid.
blind eternities. If you're having trouble imagining it, think of planes as planets, the blind eternities as space, and me as the caring parental figure you always knew you deserved. Around the same time on Ravnica, another plane, another
That's just
dragon, a
weird.
sphinx,
Alright.
and some other freaks signed the Guild Pact, splitting the plane into 9
Sorry, so
gatherings, separated from the rest by the blind eternities. If you're
So, planes are a confusing topic because they come under the impression that it's like universes, but it seems to just be different planets. Which is also quite interesting how easy it is to just... They just have an innate ability to jump, like, walk between planets. I think that's kind of cool. It's why portals are like one of the coolest powers ever. But anyway,
having trouble imagining it, think of planes as planets, the blind eternities as space, and me.
but also planes are meant to be like planes of existence. They're meant to be different realities overlapping on. It's like one universe, but they're like different realities, kind of like Jenga over each other. Is my understanding of how those work, but maybe planes work differently in Magic.
As the caring parental figure,
I still haven't actually got an understanding of
you
that.
always knew you deserved. Around the same time on Ravnica, another plane, another dragon, a sphinx.
So to my understanding, Dominaria is basically like, at this point in time, tribe huts and some dragons have just been born. And then on Ravnica, they've been around for a while. There's like a full-on fucking city going on. They've made the guild pack, yada yada yada. Sounds like Dominaria is kind of like needs to get good.
Sphinx and some other freaks signed the Guild Ravnica, another plane, another dragon, a sphinx, and some other freaks.
I like that line of, who's this guy? There's only supposed to be 9 guild founders. Aha, very funny. Because one of the guilds, I forget the name. Oh, it's not there. It's not there. It's black blue. Is like it's meant to be evil and sorry, no, it's meant to be like they're the assassins and no one's meant to know. So that's obviously why that's the case.
Signed the Guild Pact, splitting the plane into
Demir, don't worry about it.
9
Real.
guilds and promoting peace and cooperative development between each other.
Yep.
For now.
For now.
Back to Dominaria, and societies have developed.
Why
One
are
of
they
which
Hindu?
is the Thran, and a handsome man turns up to help them out. Just kidding, it's Yawgmoth, who is a magic fascist. He is handsome, though. That
shit.
part was true. He
Relatable as fuck. I'm also a magic fascist.
meets Daifed,
Although I have a feeling they don't mean it the same way as I am.
who is a planeswalker, a special near god with the ability to transport between the different planes. And she takes him to an empty plane where he can house the people who are sick with
Beautiful card, by the way, for Diffred.
a mysterious and contagious disease caused by the magic nuclear reactors that the Thran use. Just kidding, he stores them there to experiment on them and reform them into cyberflesh nightmare bastards, including this guy called Gix, whilst also
What a prick.
exiling his political rivals and their goblin servants to a different plane called Mercadia. The Thran aren't jazzed by all of this, and they start a civil war. So Yawgmoth blows up an artificial moon and kills them all, but gets trapped inside his hell plane by a Thran lady who fuses together a special key that keeps the gate between the 2 planes shut, and then dies because of the moon.
What a like crazy series of events. The way he shortens it is just like bam, 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 bam. But also, wasn't Rebecca like wanting to bang Yawgmoth? Or am I tripping? Oh yeah, what's up, Manny? You've crawled out your hole. Yeah, my forehead's the sun, as usual. Okay, cool. I'm just watching a video that covers the entire history of Magic the Gathering in 80 minutes, so have fun coming along with me. It is quite interesting to see how many things are happening at the same time, but also like just how much information I've gone through, because I recognize the beginning.
Everybody's dead, Dave. Oh, and the plane that Yawgmoth is trapped on is called Phyrexia. That's probably not going to be important later on.
Oh,
Time
obviously not.
passes and some
Obviously
more
not important
bullshit
at all.
happens. On Dominaria, a guy called Dakon forges a
I remember this guy. His blade is all about like the more people it kills, the stronger it gets. This guy's cool as fuck.
special sword called the Black Blade, and Nicol Bolas has a punch-up with a big squid which opens the first of Dominaria's many...
That is not a squid.
Blade, and Nicol Bolas...
That's a leviathan. What do you mean squid, you bastard?
has a punch up with a big
It's a whale.
squid, which opens the first of Dominaria's many time rifts over Madara. On Innistrad, a New England horror plane, a chap called Edgar Markov begins the curse of vampirism with his grandson Sorin. Sorin.
Yeah, that's cool and all. Sorin totally deserved it, by the way. Like, he totally deserved the hate. There's, I'm a ride or die for what's her face, white-haired Core. Core feels like a racist remark, but yeah, that bitch.
Ugin, and a very emotionally healthy.
That's it. Nahiri, very emotionally healthy, not for long, and it's all because of Sorin and Ugin.
Called Nahiri seal some plane-eating monsters, the three Eldrazi Titans, in a mountain on Zendikar,
Yeah,
a
fucking
mana-rich
wankers.
plane of adventure and Nahiri's homeworld.
Yeah.
They do this to stop them from eating the whole multiverse and use a spell that can only be broken by three planeswalkers assembling at the Eye of Ugin in the mountain and using Ugin's Ghost Flame. Foolproof. And back on Dominaria,
Fairly foolproof, to be fair.
Mishra and
It did
Urza
last quite a
are-
few thousand years.
Oh no! The boys grow up to be skilled artificers, but when a brotherly feud leads...
One moment, I need to close my door. People are yelling downstairs. Oh, my back. I have forgotten how much my body hurts. Oh. Work pains, I know you don't get it. Manny could never understand being employed.
to the death of their mentor, they become indefinite rivals. That rock they were fighting over, whose breaking in two caused their mentor's death, sure does look very similar to that special key that sealed Phyrexia away from Dominaria.
Yeah, man,
It's probably nothing that...
I wonder what the connection could possibly be.
Yo, who the fuck are you? The brothers' feud develops into a full-blown world war, and Mishra is corrupted.
World War One, hell yeah.
Urza isn't a fan
My
of
kind of
either
fuck.
this or the prescient Phyrexian invasion, and blows up a third of the plane with a megaton fruit bowl called the
Should have fucking killed himself with it. He's a terror. Fuck this guy in the game.
Golgothian Silex. He becomes a planeswalker for his troubles, and his eyes are replaced with the two halves of the Power Stone that he and his brother nearly destroyed the world over.
Does that mean that he has like cancer, like double right now because he's got a power stone in his face, and those are meant to be dangerous?
How sentimental, I guess. Time passes, and Urza's gap century backpacking around the multiverse ends when he meets Xantia, a new
Found
human
myself.
Phyrexian, and decides it's probably time for him to deal with the hell world that ate his brother. His assault fails, he goes
chaps.
mad, and runs away through space with Xantia being chased by Phyrexian.
Goes mad. I'm studying for a 3-unit course exam tomorrow, whose material is longer than my Nigerian phallus. You're like probably the only Nigerian I know who's probably packing like a 1-inch wonder. I've seen you watch videos, but you haven't enjoyed any this much. It's more like when I'm usually watching these videos, I'm locked in, I'm trying to understand what's going on. Like, I don't know anything about it. It's completely new to me. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Or, you know, something else is pissing me off in the story, like with, I forget the plane, but, is it Eldraine? Yeah, the Eldraine. The one with... Yes, I did enjoy pissing on her. I enjoy being angry sometimes. No, it's fuck, I forgot the name, but Will and so it's coming to my brain. It's Will and Roman? No, Will and Rowan. Got it. Yeah, I felt so strongly about that one just because I was expecting more from Will and Rowan. I felt that they were really interesting in the secret, in the original Strixhaven storyline. So I was like, oh, I'm curious what's going to go down here. But yeah, it pisses me off when they fumble the ball, you know. But yeah, for the other videos, it's kind of just me trying to understand what's going on in this plane, what are the rules of this plane, what's going on here, what is magic about, yada yada yada. Whereas now, this is all shit I know about. This is all stuff I've listened to, read through. I've seen every single step of this progress has been on my channel, and it's like you could go and find me reacting to full videos of like these entire periods of time. It's like genuinely, the past 4 minutes has taken video like full length 40-minute length videos to go through. Now, of course, there's more to it. There's probably like a few more minutes in this video that go over those storylines, but nonetheless. Anyway.
Every world he passes through, some of which are destroyed as a result, and others asking him politely but firmly to leave. Urza goes back
Fuck
to
off,
Dominaria
mate.
Eventually, where Gix is waiting to meet.
Yeah, why you look like that? That is that Urza? Urza had blonde like a ginger hair. I don't know. It's kind of cool. I like the golden apparel.
meet him, and the pair fight, with Xantia sacrificing herself to save Urza and finally destroy Gix. More time passes.
I love how the card that he uses shows that she's a sleeper agent, but she spends all of this time being on his side.
On the plane of Kamigawa, a Japanese folklore
we're going over here.
futurist-style world.
This is the guy that I'm trying to make into an Ichigo card at some point. I've put off the project. I will be honest, because I've been doing other things. My art channels and other stuff usually. But maybe I can try and do that once I'm done with like my main Gindo art piece. I can go over to this.
Immortal Emperor
Not a specific lore, it's the entire lore of Magic the Gathering. It's meant to be done in an hour and 20 minutes. So, yeah. Just everything. The past few minutes have been a very, very fast ride for me. Going through some stories that I've already gone over in videos. So.
was the daughter of the Kami Emperor in a decorative plate to achieve immortality. And that just causes a whole hullabaloo. The daughters of both emperors...
Yeah. I like how that entire story comes down to both of their daughters kill their fathers. Patricide!
Eventually joined forces to defeat their warring parents with the help of a rogue called Toshiro Umezawa, who's actually...
So he just went through the entire Kamigawa story, like all 3 of the sets, in 30 seconds?
Ended up diminishing
impressive.
For planar powers of whatever the piss this thing is, so he's blinded and...
Do you know what it is? It's cool as fuck. That's what it is.
Sent to the plane of Dominaria in exile.
Yeah, fuck
Azor,
off.
the Sphinx from Ravnica who set up the Azorius Guild, is a planeswalker, and he and Ugin try and trap Nicol Bolas with a magic disc called the Immortal Sun on...
Also, I like how characters, even when they are, like, doing the good thing, or, like, fighting the good fight, doesn't necessarily mean they're actually good. Because this guy's an arsehole.
Ixalan, and
isn't he? No, wait, I'm thinking of a different Sphinx. I'm being Sphinxist, my bad. I was thinking of that one Sphinx that mind rapes, mind assaults. I don't know what YouTube allows. Mind assaults Jace.
Dinosaurs Island on a plane of the same name. But they mess up and Azor ends up getting stuck there instead. Why did they mess up? Well, as Sarkhan sees when he travels back in time on Tarkir, Ugin gets killed by Nicol Bolas in a crux of fate. But he saves the dying dragon and seals him in a healing cocoon. Who is Sarkhan? What is Tarkir? I'm confused.
Love me a dodecahedron.
Going on? You'll find out in a few thousand years.
Short amount of time. Just a short period of time, just a few thousand years, and you'll be back on track.
Let's check back in with Dominaria. And oh dear, it's in one of the 3 ice ages that will sporadically befall it because of Urza's Silex Blast. A bloke called Joda and a lady...
I don't remember anything about Joda, I can't lie. I felt like I was going to go on a video about him. I don't know if I actually watched it, and I can't remember for the life of me. Or, no, I do remember it, and it was a short one because it was part of a novel. This guy's immortal, isn't he? Yeah, I remember. He goes to the bottom of the lake. Good story boner maker. Did you say the video you're watching covers? Yeah, it's the entire story of Magic the Gathering. Hold on. Is there a nice little picture for it? Yeah, the entire story of Magic the Gathering by I forgot his name. His name is like Spicy something. I can't see names. Hold on. Spice 8-Rack. If you want to check him out ever. As you can see, bar it being the only video I've seen of his, this is the only video I've seen of his. I just thought that comprising it into 80 minutes is just impressive. So. Also, on the note of the Ice Age thing, one of my favourite cards is, favourite cards in my current deck is Oren Frostfang. And Oren Frostfang has like this alternate snowy bird version in this, which I think is cool as fuck. Just on a side note.
Called Jaya Ballard are born and fight a Silex Blast. A bloke called Joda and a lady called Jaya Ballard are born and fight a necromancer called Lim.
I did not know that she had a card because the video I watched did not feature a single card of her. It was just random women who had nothing to do with the storyline. But alright, this guy looks cool as fuck. I like how he looks.
Joda and a lady called Jaya Ballard are born and fight a necromancer called Limdor and a nightwalker called Leshrac. But both of them...
Please tell me his actual name is Leshrac.
Those weirdos piss off on their own, and Jaya's spark ignites when a weird little magic freak trapped in the ring makes her lose her mind for a wee moment. Fast forward a few years, nothing happened. Nothing happened, don't worry about it. And Urza's back.
I want to know. I literally know nothing about what is Fallen Empires.
Forward a few years, nothing happened. Nothing happened, don't worry.
Fallen Empires, Magic the Gathering. Hold on, let me pull that up. Fallen Empires MTG. It's 187 cards. I'd assume this is important, at least somewhat, you know? 5th Magic expansion is not considered part of any block. Oh, shit. Theme. Could be used to piece together a story. Another theme is tribal theme. Okay. There are like books and shit on this. The fuck. After the brothers' war on the domineering continent of Sarpadia, the Ice Age is approaching. The changing climate results in dwindling resources and fighting amongst allies for survival. I'll be honest, that sounds like he put this in the wrong position. Not sure about his timelines now, just because of that one thing. But alright.
About it. And Urza's back. Oh no, again. He's healed his mind, but not his soul, because he founds a school on the island of Teleria on Dominaria, where he's about to do a whole bunch of unethical stuff to everybody who steps foot inside. Amongst those...
So if his mind works, he's fine, but his soul is where his goodness, I guess, comes from. See, like a different mana type now? Black, blue, or some shit?
Those are the wizards Baron and Rain, and the students Urtai and... Oh, pissing shit! The Phyrexians just snuck up and invaded the Telerian Academy.
What the fuck you mean pissing shit? Oh, this guy feels British. He probably is, to be honest. I don't know why I'm thinking that he's not. Let me listen to his voice more.
Inside. Quick, Urza, send the silver golem you just made called Khan, who's been brought to life with the heartstone that you took from Xantia's corpse, you fucking weirdo, back in...
What the fuck is that sentence? Okay, I knew Urza made Khan, because Urza's basically Victor from League of Legends, or Arcane, and Khan is essentially Blitzcrank. But alright, so you took your girlfriend person's heart, you ripped out her fucking chest and put it to Khan. Alright, cool. So Khan is your girlfriend? Interesting fetish. Alright.
Time 24 hours to prevent them from doing that.
Okay. What the fuck?
Oh, shitting piss. Urza's time machine was built by a madman with no moral compass, and of course it exploded the minute somebody turned it on. Only a handful of people escaped the invading Phyrexians, along with a bunch of students who get trapped in different time bubbles, like the children, Joyra and Teferi, the former of whom is left immortal because of the time explosion.
Teferi? Isn't he...
The latter of whom develops a fascination with time after being trapped in a slow time bubble whilst on fire for 20 years.
What the fuck? I need to learn more about these time bubbles. This is complete... Everything here is new to me. I've never heard any of this information before. Complete new lore. What is this set? I'm wondering what this set is. Hold on, let me just check. I assume it's... I don't know. What minute are we at? We're at 6 minutes in, and I'm stuck. I'm mentally fucked right now. Weatherlight Saga. Oh, they're just calling it the Urza Saga. Alright. Damn, that's a crazy series of events. Love fucking with time. And I like how one of them is now immortal and the other one is gonna show up again later. Alright. That's the great thing about Magic. Given the time it's got, it just has so many opportunities to set up characters, and there's so much immortality. So they can just keep on having people come back and come back and come back and come back, and eventually you'll hate it. But it's pretty cool while at the start and at the middle.
Urza then decides that he alone can solve the problem that he first caused and has only made worse up until this point by beginning the construction of the legacy weapon to once and all destroy Phyrexia and the... Jesus Christ, the Bloodlines Project. More on that later.
I love eugenics!
Starts gathering bits and bobs together to build a legacy, including destroying Serra's realm, an angelic world of peace and harmony that was one of the now corrupted planes that he unwittingly led Phyrexians to.
Unfortunate.
Hopefully, Urza apologized at least a few times for all of
Hell no!
As he shrinks all of the energy of the plane down into a battery to power his big gun and erases it from existence.
Weird. I don't know why that other video, it didn't go through that little section that we just went through now, over the past few minutes, but it did go through the ending. So I don't know what happened there.
God, Urza sucks so bad. We temporarily zip
Not
off
bad.
to the feudal plain of Algrotha to see some dwarves, vampires, and a Marge Simpson creepypasta.
What? The EXE version of Marge Simpson. Oh, I thought this was going to be like Lorwyn or some shit. I mean, I feel like we're a bit too early in history for it to be then, but...
Duke it out over a magical wind chime, but none of it has any bearing on the main narrative.
So who gives a shit? Fuck that plane.
Joyra and Teferi move to a land called Zalfir on
Yeah.
Dominaria.
Hold on, what did they just say?
Main narrative, however, Joyra and
Teferi.
move to a land
Why Juro kind of bad?
called Zalfir.
Anyway, time for a holiday, am I right? Kill yourself. Actually kill yourself. I know you can't because you're immortal, but kill yourself. I shall take actions here that will lead to national trauma. Damn, you really are just like Urza.
On Dominaria, Tetsuo Umezawa, a distant descendant of Toshiro, slays
Loki, the Umezawas are goated, aren't they? Like you can't say they aren't the best. Tetsuo his name is Toshiro. Wait, hold on. I forgot his name.
Dominaria, Tetsuo Umezawa, a distant descendant of Toshiro.
Yeah. So he's Toshiro. Toshiro. But yeah, no. Umezawa bloodline is goated. Fuck everyone.
Slays Nicol Bolas. Holy shit, what a chad. The
For
elder
real.
dragons on the plane of Ark.
Everyone notices that elder dragons always tend to come in fives. Shut up, gal. Valid. Fuck the Prismari, you know. All my homies hate Prismari.
That it's known as the Blood Age and established the school of Strixhaven to study and preserve magical knowledge. And Nahiri is
Hell yeah.
awoken from her meditative watch on Zendikar as the Eldrazi test the bounds of their prison. She fights off their broods and recontains them, wandering
Her
west
toes look
Sorin
kinda-
and Ugin are.
Anyway.
She finds Sorin on Innistrad, threatening him that if he doesn't get his alabaster ass to Zendikar to fix things up lickety
This
split,
guy.
I swear to God. And then Sorin seals her in a magical moon shard prison called the Hell Vault with the help of an archangel he created called Avaz.
He's such a wanker. Like, you can't deny, Neferi is 100% valid. Nahiri is the most valid and understandable character in this entire story, and I will hear nothing else. I understand where she's coming from, and I would totally do the same thing. Maybe I wouldn't, but, like, I'd probably do something similar. She's valid as hell. I like her. Average anime plot? Fucking in it. We're literally on not even 10 minutes in, and you could have, like, 40 anime off of this.
And leaves her there for thousands.
It really does feel like there's like 20 different main characters in this already. Each of them could have their own story. Like fucking that time I got sealed inside of a rock, so I decided to kill the entire vampire race. You know, like there's so many of these sorts of things.
Of years. You know, for an ageless vampire and a planeswalker, Sovereign Shore is short in both temper and sight.
Agreed.
Then return to Dominaria, where Teferi's new home, itself obsessed with great magical learning, phases out of existence because of Teferi's time magic meddling, during which the man's
Fuck you, Ranko. No, but he's coming back anyway, so who cares? Twice, I think he's coming back? I might be wrong. Anyway.
spark ignites, and a bunch of powerful mages all convene to work out what exactly happened. The obviously villain-coded
Damn, Jor-El. Why is she kind of bad? I feel like they should have turned some of her cards into like Wakanda cards. Because, you know, you've got the tigers in the background. I'm not being racist, I swear to God. No, but like, tigers, fuck me. Jaguars. Jaguars are like the whole theme of Wakanda. And it just immediately makes me think of, what's his face? What is Black Panther's name? But you know Black Panther's mum? She reminds me of her design. And like, even her outfit, down to a T, almost remind me of it. Maybe the colour scheme might be wrong. But Panthers in general just make me think of, you know, Black Panther.
To be a big-time villain who wants all the knowledge and power for himself, and the Mirage War breaks out. 200 years later, Teferi turns up and is like, "Good lord, what happened here?" and defeats the bad guy, who then gets trapped in the Amber Prison by the good guy that the bad guy had previously trapped in the Amber Prison during the war. They're also assisted by
The Amber Prison? Oh my day. You are right. This is feeling more and more like an anime plot. Holy shit.
a lady called Sisei, who's trapped.
We've already got female Wukong, because, you know, Wukong's whole story is he got trapped underneath a mountain with a seal on top of it, and she got trapped inside of a rock by a vampire with a seal on it. We've got Amber Stones, and I'm sure there's a show like that. Actually, no, there is. There's a novel I read called Unconventional Beast Taming, If you've ever read it, it's great. But one of the characters in that story literally gets trapped inside of something, like when it was a baby, and then transported to him. I think it was like a demon or some shit, or some weird creature. And I just thought of another one while I was talking, which is Fate Grand Order, which has a summer event where Leonardo da Vinci, who's now a little girl, finds an amber that contains a dinosaur, carries it around, and then eventually returns it to its amber, where it ends up killing itself to return to its mother. Anyway, just a fun little story there.
Traveling on a flying ship called the Weatherlight. But wait, the who traveling on the what? Cissé was born to a Zalfiran family, now slain by Phyrexians, who was given the skyship Weatherlight by Urza for safekeeping after he grew it from the weather seed that he was given by an angry tree after he convinced him
an angry
that
tree.
An entire continent with
Look, it wasn't even the worst thing that I will do.
was totally fine and cool.
Well, when you put it like that way, what do you mean will do?
Cool, actually. Cissé's on a quest to gather together all the legacy artifacts, a series of items that went...
Whoa. Remember, it's Mind Stone, not the Mind Stone. Remember that info. God, that matters a lot of things. Jesus Christ. I think some of these might still be useful, but I'm not sure which ones.
And combined together will form the legacy weapon, because loads of them have been stolen. Stolen from where and by whom you are...
I love my emulate upscales. Yeah, I saw it. Basically, it's him making all of the Grand Servant weapons, which is pretty fucking baller. But yeah, I love me an emulate upscale. I like how Emiya as a servant is the Megami of FGO at times, kind of. I don't know, sometimes he is. And then Emiya, like normal non-servant Emiya, is completely removed from that and is the exact opposite of a potential man. Everyone assumes the worst, and he always manages to meet above their expectations. You don't know that Leonardo... He wasn't trapped. Let me bring it up, hold on. Leonardo da Vinci. And then we just go FGO. I said FGO. Yeah, so that's Leonardo. Okay, something's gone on with the gateways around here. Fuck. Okay, I mean, I assume you can just see it normally there. But yeah, that's Leonardo da Vinci ruler, and this is Leonardo da Vinci caster. So basically, in FGO, because I'm obviously playing the entire game and I'm in the Lost Belts. Obviously, you play with Leonardo da Vinci, and she's like helping you out throughout most of the story. And then once you get to the Lost Belts, you get attacked by Koyanaska of the Light, or of the Dark, I forget which one, who is the priestess of an alien god who's actually Olga, but like after she got sent and scattered throughout time and bullshit, and then went to Area 51. And basically Koyanaska and some Russian princess, I forget her name, end up effectively killing Leonardo da Vinci caster. However, Leonardo da Vinci caster had made a alternate version of herself. She made like a homunculus body or some bullshit, which created Leonardo da Vinci ruler. So, just some fun facts there. Fun facts for you. Did I mention that she's best friends with Solomon? Anyway. Moving back to the video before I get too lost. He's probably only going to watch the trailer for the not so off chance he spots Gilgamesh. So. I like Gilgamesh, but I don't like him enough to, squirt tea. Someone figure out how to make Ea. He's never making Ea. He's physically not able to make Ea because Ea is made of materials outside of our universe. It's like Fate is like, sorry, it's not allegations. It's literally originally an erotic novel. What the fuck you mean the allegations? It is an erotic novel. But yeah, no, he could never make Aya because Aya is it. Think of it as if you were trying to create a material that doesn't exist. It's effectively creating a new element out of something that isn't an electron or a neutron. It just doesn't. You can't compute it. It's like physically ununderstandable for any human from our timeline. You can't do it. If that makes sense. And since Emiya's tracing abilities work solely off of him tracing your thing, understanding the history, the contraptions and yada yada of said item, and then he even has to understand the history of the item by touching it, which means that he can't physically use it on Aya because Aya's history precedes our universe and then some. You haven't even touched FGO and more of a newbie? Okay. You're talking to a bit of a nerd about it. I'm definitely not one of the best ones. I'm not the most nerdy about it, but I know a decent bit. I've gotten halfway through FGO. I've played through the singularities where we fight against a fake version of Solomon. I've done 2 of the Lost Belts. I'm on my 3rd one. I've done some of the pseudo singularities. I've done some of like I've done most of the events that I've come by when like over the past like year or so. I've watched a few of the shows, so I have some knowledge. One day I'm going to do the novels, but they require money, and I don't want to do that. So I might find another way to get them, if that makes sense. I might buy them one day if I really enjoy them, but I'm not running for it. I do hope that eventually all of it gets turned into an anime, so I never have to do that. Anywho, back to the video. I'm getting distracted.
Well, stolen from where? Series of items that
let's go back from the beginning.
Slain by Phyrex, who...
No. It's not like it exists and not exists at the same time. It's more like Aya exists, but it was the items and materials that were required to make it and the history of said item precede our universe. They were before us. They were before everything. They aren't in the ideas of everything and nothing, so you can't get a read on them because they don't like the information is no longer information. It's weird. It's the best I can say it. It's like the material could physically never exist in our universe because they are solely that universe. It's like you tried to imagine how the next universe or the previous universe of our universe would look. You just won't be able to do it. You physically can't. It's that concept. I don't know. I'm confusing myself. Let's get back to the video.
They're also assisted by a lady called Sisay, who's travelling on a flying ship called the Weatherlight. But wait, the who travelling on the what? Sisay was born to a Zalfiran family, now slain by Phyrexians, who was given the skyship Weatherlight by Urza for safekeeping after he grew it from the weather seed that he was given by an angry tree after he convinced him that destroying an entire continent with a magical hydrogen bomb was totally fine and cool, actually. Sisay's on a quest to gather together all the legacy...
Nuclear warfare is pretty cool, bro.
The artifacts, a series of items that, when combined together, will form the legacy weapon, because loads of them have been stolen. Stolen from where and by whom, you ask? Well...
Stolen from where? And by whom?
Came in there a little bit late, Rowan. Come on. Chop, trying to record here. They'd been given to the parents of Gerard Capuchin, who'd passed them down to him when they had also been targeted and slain by Phyrexians. Gerard himself was rescued
coincidence, I think not.
by Khan, who Urza had also gifted to the Capuchin family, because Urza is a scumbag who values his right of ownership over the sentience of the things he owns, and then was adopted by a Jamuran warlord called Sidar Konda.
What the fuck
The
is going
syntax of
on?
that sentence sounds like Urza was adopted. No, it was Gerard. Urza deserves no family. Sidar immediately took a liking to Gerard over his biological son Vuel, who grows to resent Gerard so much that he attacks his father's camp, stealing all of the legacy artifacts, including Khan, who he tricks into killing an innocent child, thus converting the silver golem to a lifetime of pacifism, and flees to a plane called Wrath through a portal.
Also, all of this basically just starts off the next Phyrexian war. Or I guess, yeah, it's basically the reason why the next Phyrexian war becomes such an issue. Because Khan could have just fucking... Elish Norn, but he didn't. So now we're here. Oh, Elish Norn, no, not Elish Norn. The weird spider guy. I forget his name.
Gerard onto the Weatherlight along with a bunch of other people, including the totally normal human Krovax, Miri the Cat Warrior,
Yes.
the
Normal.
Navigator Hannah, the Talarian graduate Urtai, and the Goblin Squee. And then they all set off to... Wait a minute, where did Sisse go? Whilst we were distracted doing introductions, she got kidnapped, of course, by someone called Volrath.
Makes sense.
And now the whole crew need to fly to Raff to get
Hey,
her back.
I actually think I bought that card, and I have that card as well.
The Weatherlight can plane shift. It's like the TARDIS, but a boat and can't do the time thing. Oh, also, the nice elf that was on the crew? Yeah.
Gerard liked communism. I was so lost throughout that little minute there, but like it's just information in your head. He likes communism. I didn't quite catch that one myself.
They'd be given to the parents of Gerard Capuchin, who'd
Yep.
passed them down to him when they had also been targeted and slain by Phyrexians. Gerard himself was rescued from the Phyrexians by Khan, who Urza had also gifted to the Capuchin family, because Urza is a scumbag who values his right of ownership over the sentience of the things he owns, and then was adopted by a Jamuran warlord called Sidar.
Okay, so items given to Gerard's family, then given to Gerard because they died, and then Sidar now adopts him.
Kondo.
Gerard's
Syntax of
kid
that sentence sounds
fights
like
back,
Urza
yes.
was adopted. No, it was Gerard. Urza deserves no family. Sidar immediately took a liking to Gerard over his biological son Vuel, who grows to resent.
So Sidar like Vuel, which make him like Gerard. Vuel not like Gerard. Blow up house.
Gerard so much that he attacks his father's camp, stealing all of the legacy artifacts, including Khan, who he tricks into killing an innocent child, thus converting the silver golem to a lifetime of pacifism, and flees to a plane called Wrath through a portal. Sisse
So he fucks off to Wrath. Yep, got you. Sisse.
hires Gerard onto the Weatherlight along with a bunch
Uh-huh.
of other people, including the totally normal human Krovax, Miri the Cat
Human.
Warrior, the Navigator
Yep.
Hannah, the Talarian graduate Urtai, and the Goblin Squee. And then they all set off to wait a minute, where did Sisse go? Whilst
So
we were
Gerard is
distracted doing
taken onto the ship by
introductions,
Sisse. Yes.
she got kidnapped, of course.
She
by
gets
someone
kidnapped,
called
of course.
Volrath, and now the whole crew need to fly to Raff to get her back. Luckily, the Weatherlight can plane shift. It's like the TARDIS, but a boat and can't do the time thing.
I completely missed the
Also,
commun- I
nice
don't see
elf
the
that was on
communism thing
crew,
yet.
Yeah, he gets killed by some German children's book illustration.
Okay. I know that I'm meant to be scary, but Morin Fen goes so fucking hard. And Gallo Braid reminds me of Titans. Specifically the one that eats Aaron's mum.
Now on Wrath, an occupied world of weird adapted.
I only watched three episodes of Attack on Titan. That's how I decided where I like shows. So I didn't like it. So didn't continue.
Rock, Gerard leads the native elves in a revolt against Volrath. Krovax's guardian angel gets corrupted and he has to kill her and then becomes a vampire because of a family curse and then turns evil and falls off the Weatherlight. Khan is rescued along with some other legacy artifacts, but not...
I do needed rescuing. Gonna have some poor quality sleep till I see the line. Yeah. It's bullying at this point. But yeah, have a great time. This won't make anyone shit my pants. Wait, someone else is gonna shit your pants? Damn. Shit your pants! Shit his pants! Alright, damn.
before being
Don't know how that happened. But alright, so...
Plane shift. It's like the TARDIS, but killed by some German children's book illustrations.
Yeah,
Now
they...
Wrath and
The people that are making someone shit your pants... Kill her.
occupied world of weird.
We go to
adaptive
Wrath,
rock,
there's lots of
Gerard
weird
leads
shit.
The native elves in a revolt against Volrath.
Gerard and the elves go against Volrath.
Krovax's guardian angel gets corrupted and he has...
Krovax. Isn't that the guy who's totally human, or is that someone else? I'm assuming that's the guy.
to kill her and then becomes a vampire because of a
Krovax kills Angel, becomes vampire. Got you.
family curse and then turns evil and falls off the Weatherlight.
Yep. So he fucks off, Tiger Girl fucks off, and at some point, for some reason, the Minotaur also gets kidnapped alongside Khan. Alright. Remove my autocorrect. Sure. No.
Khan is rescued along with some other legacy artifacts, but not before being psychologically tortured by being thrown into a funhouse rotating room with a bunch of weak goblins who his massive silver body crushes to death. Turns out that Volrath is...
Fucking hell! Poor pacifist. I feel like I've seen this plot before somewhere. I'll be honest with you, this all feels like it's a plot I've seen before somewhere, yet I could not give a fuck on it currently. There's just so much going on. There might be like 4 different shows going on at the same time. I don't know.
the Phyrexianized Vuel. His own
Whoever.
magic skyboat damages the Weatherlight's plane-shifting matrix, so they have to escape through a portal that Urtai has been keeping open. Although, when they do leave, they're being chased by Volrath's ship, so they didn't manage to pick him up on the way, and he stays trapped on Wrath as the portal
It's because
closes.
I was painted as an awful bigot who donated thousands of dollars of artwork to an anti-Semitic QAnon conspiracy theory podcast, and who then compared the resulting outcry to being rejected by her family for being gay. Wasn't it? What the fuck? I don't believe him, but at the same time, it'd be funny as fuck if that was the reason why. No, but damn, maybe that's the artist. Oh, I didn't fucking read it properly. It's because I was painted by an awful bit. God shoot. I'll be honest. I couldn't care less if someone did that. I'm here for the art and the art only. As long as they don't start putting Nazi symbols in the background, I'm sure we'll be fine. Also, it's been 100 years. Anyway, moving on.
Where do they end up? Why, Mercadia, of course.
Of
It's been a
course.
while since we've seen them, and wouldn't you know it, all of the Thran that Yorgmoth exiled here have developed a society where the descendants of their goblin servants are now the dominant social ethnic group.
There is no way you let goblins get in charge, you fucking losers. Anyway, what? No, he got cast out because he was being anti-Semitic and extremely bigoted. Whatever. He was being anti-Semitic, selling paintings to a something anti-Semitic apparently. I'd have to fact check that, I'll be honest, before I believe anything. But oh well. And he compared the treatment of people not liking him or some shit to being gay, and coming out as gay to people who don't want you to be gay, and such. Let's go back, further. What was that big fucking...
When they do leave, they're being chased by Volrath's ship, so they didn't manage to pick him up on the way, and he stays...
Sorry, the resulting outcry from him doing that. I'd have to look up who this guy is and see the details.
trapped on Wrath as the portal closes.
That feels like a really weird way to remove a character, though, so I doubt that that's the actual reason.
Why, Mercadia, of course, ethnic, developed a society where the descendants of their goblin servants are now the dominant social ethnic group. Remember, kids, when education is not liberating, the dream of the oppressed is to become the oppressor. The Weatherlight crew find the rest of the legacy artifacts here, a bunch of gems that had mighty morphing Power Rangers themselves into a robot god dragon. They defeat the Phyrexians chasing them, including Volrath, and Hannah and Gerard fall in love. Then they all return home, just in time to stop the Phyrexian invasion.
For real. Imagine having a fucking goblin being in charge. Anyway, let me go back for a second.
Crew find the rest of the legacy artifacts here, a bunch of gems that had mighty morphing Power Rangers themselves into a robot god dragon. They defeat the Phyrexians chasing them, including Volrath.
The fuck you mean they've become a god dragon? How did the gems do that? How do they just... whatever.
And Hannah and Gerard fall in love. Then they all return home, just in time to stop the Phyrexian invasion. Oh wait, it's already started. Oh dearie me. It's invasion time, and Urza's been busy with his many projects. He's bred a race of super soldiers from Thran DNA
I love eugenics!
called the Metathran to act as his personal army, because the only way to defeat one godlike eugenicist is with another, slightly different godlike eugenicist. He also assembles a group of
Fire. I love me some eugenics.
planeswalkers called the Nine Titans to take the...
Dario, Tevish, Sazat, Oliver, Freyalise? Well, the rest of you must be dead, because I only recognise Freyalise. And that's because I think she might be banging Chandra. I might be wrong on that one, though.
Fight to the heart of Phyrexia itself as Dominaria is invaded. There would have been 10 Titans, but when Urza asked the fairy to join in, the Time Mage said, "Work with you? Are you kidding me? Every catastrophe on this plane and in my life can be traced back to you. Sort your own problems out. I'm out of here." And phases out of existence.
Do you think if Urza just, like, got a job, had a family, settled down for a bit, he would have just been normal? Or if someone just healed his soul, do you think he'd be fine?
Zalfir and Shiv with him. Meanwhile, Hannah and Gerard's relationship is going great until Hannah catches a Phyrexian plague.
That's fucking hilarious. He just like, yuck, that's my plane now. I'm fucking off with my entire island.
and dies. Her dad, the wizard Baron, who used to
Oh,
work
shit.
at the Talarian College, is distraught. And Urza's like, man, I'm sorry I manipulated you into falling in love and having a child with your co-worker Rain just so I could breed people with strong connections to white mana to one day become part of the legacy weapon itself by sacrificing their life for it. That's also the reason that Jared and Sisse were born as well. It was all part of Operation Bloodline, you see. I've been clandestinely selectively breeding human beings and pulling the strings to make sure they all end up together, so I guess it's a little bit of my fault that all of this went down.
Absolutely fire.
Sorry, that was probably a bad time to drop that some of your most beautiful life events were all instigated by me so that I could out you
The OG Eisen, apparently.
eugenics or wizard Nazi. You gonna be okay, champ? Baron blows up the entire...
I will say, I think this is one of those cases, similar to, you do know what the zoetropes are in Zoetropes? Zoetropes? I've got one in my cupboard, hold on. Like, the first form of animation ever was made by two random different people. Oh yes, shit, I forgot to put on subtitles, I apologise. I'll go back for a second. I think that, so this is a zoetrope. You spin it, and it makes, like, when you look at it through one of these little holes, you see here at the top, you basically, is it through there? No, it's not. I'm tripping balls, hold on. I forget how you use it. Point being that you have it like that, you spin it, and then it creates like a little animation. I made like a snake with a hat going around. Two people in the world on different sides of the planet who, in a period of time with obviously no globalization, within like a time span where they wouldn't have been able to find out that the other one's making it, made a zoetrope. Two different variations of the same thing, exact same thing for animation, without knowing the other person existed in like the 1400s. I think this is the same situation. I highly fucking doubt that Kubo has been reading Magic the Gathering lore. I don't believe that. There is no fucking way.
College is distraught, and Urza's like, man, I'm...
Nor do I think that they were reading... I don't think Bleach was out at this point, so yeah, no, there's no fucking way.
I'm sorry I manipulated you into falling in love and...
Got subtitles now.
having a child with your co-worker Rain just so I could breed people with strong connections to white mana to one day become part of the legacy weapon itself by sacrificing their life for it. That's also the reason that Jared and Sisse were born as well. It was all part of Operation Bloodline, you see. I've been clandestinely selectively breeding human beings and pulling the strings to make sure they all end up together, so I guess it's a little bit of my fault that all of this went down. Sorry, that was probably a bad time to drop that some of your most beautiful life events were all instigated by me so that I could out eugenics a wizard Nazi. You gonna be okay, champ? Baron blows up the entire of the Talarian continent with him still on it, unfortunately not killing Urza, and the Dominarians managed to push back the Phyrexians and destroy their invasion portals. Congratulations, folks. We've defeated the Phyrexians once and for all.
Valid as fuck. Once and for all is a strong word.
Hey, what's that shimmering landscape seemingly coming into existence across every continent on Dominaria? Well, that's the Wrathy overlay that Yawgmoth is using to teleport the entire Phyrexian army.
For real. Love me some eugenics. I keep repeating myself this. I just love eugenics, man. It's great. Great for the environment.
And the plane of Wrath itself straight onto Dominaria and occupy the entire world at once. Bugger. Squeer gets captured by Yawgmoth and given to Krovax, who's taken Volrath's place as the Evencar of Wrath, and also to the newly corrupted Urtai as a plaything. They give him the...
Urtai. I feel like I should know who Urtai is. I'm sure they mentioned him, but there's been so much information, it's gone. It's lost. I'm not looking for it.
Gift of immortality, just so that they can kill him forever.
Valid as fuck. That face... Hold on.
They give him the...
This fucker? I would also want to kill him forever. My goodness, what an ugly little bastard. Fucking goblins, man.
Gift of immortality, just so that they can kill him forever. The Nine Titans decide that now is the time to invade Phyrexia and cut the invasion off at the source, but then just a whole lot of betraying happens. Tevish Zat, the most obviously evil of all the 9 Titans,
Well,
kills
yeah, he's
Daria
black.
and Christina of the Woods because he was secretly working for Phyrexia.
Of
But then
course.
Urza reveals that he knew Tevish would betray him, and so betrays Tevish and stuffs it in a contraption that'll act as a spirit bomb to destroy Phyrexia. He could have, of course, done this at any time, meaning that Daria and Christina absolutely
look
got
this cool.
nothing.
Real.
But then Urza, upon being in Phyrexia and not getting his ass beat, is like, huh, this whole place is actually kind of impressive.
You want to kill Urza with your own hands? I mean,
When you think about
poor Christina.
it, and dismantles the contraption so as to... This whole place is actually kind of impressive when you think about it, and dismantles the contraption so as to preserve Phyrexia. So, you died for even less than nothing, you two. Then Gerard
Damn, Christina literally means nothing in this. Poor girl.
turns up and cuts Urza's head off for being a fucking rube, and also because he betrayed Dominaria because Yawgmoth promised him that if he killed Urza, he'd resurrect Ham.
What the fuck? Okay, so Gerard did a good deed, but he's betraying people. Well, that's shit.
But then Gerard betrays Yawgmoth and escapes from Phyrexia with Urza's head, whose eyes, being 2 halves of the Power Stone that he and Mishra found all those years ago, are the final pieces of the legacy weapon.
Just put the you're gonna put his head inside of the legacy weapon, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, and Squee kind of betrays his role as an infinite murder toy by killing Krovax whilst he's distracted with all of these other betrayals going on. Some of the...
It's like EastEnders. I've not watched EastEnders in a very, very long time. It was too mid.
remaining Titans who are still on Phyrexia blow up their own soul bombs, almost totally destroying the plane, and Yawgmoth says, if you want a job done properly, you gotta do it yourself, and invades Dominaria as a death cloud which you want.
You are correct. The years have not been kind. Jesus Christ, you look terrible.
Job done
Fucking
properly,
hell.
you gotta
I can see why Elish Norn looks the way she does.
do it yourself, and invades Dominaria as a death cloud which ends up killing all life on the plane before the leg.
For real. Equalizing his sins. To be fair, at this point, his sins might as well be like the kindest person ever. Because my god, that deed is just delicious. Literally killed the one guy who, like, has more sins than probably any other person bar Yawgmoth on that plane. Jesus Christ.
Weapon gets activated. And that's it. That's how the story ends. Gerard, Urza, even Squee, all dead, with Phyrexia winning an ultimate but Pyrrhic victory.
I'm so glad Squee's dead. Fuck that little
At which
shit.
point, Commodore Goth, one of the
Oh,
last remaining
fuck.
Titans, looks up from the book where all of this is written down and goes, that was a tad dreary, wasn't it? And Bolivar, another remaining Titan, is like, wait, you knew that was going to happen? Change it, you stupid ass. So Guff rewrites the ending just as both of them are consumed by the death cloud and literally retcons the whole narrative so that Gerard managed to sacrifice himself just in time to destroy Yawgmoth because Commodore Guff has the power of meta storytelling.
You, what the fuck? How does he know that? Like, what? No, not even how does he, sorry, not how does he know that. Why the fuck is that his power? Why?
No, this isn't a pithy gag. That's literally his Planeswalker power. And after all of this, Kana...
Okay, so Planeswalkers each have like different fucking specific powers. They have fucking stands. Is that the premise? I thought that Planeswalkers' whole shtick was that they were like magic squared by like fucking 10. I didn't realize that they actually had specific powers imbued into their bodies. Damn.
Sense to being a Planeswalker. Trust me, there are worse ways to end a multi-year build-up to a Phyrexian invasion. But
Yep.
now we're in a period
That is
of
correct.
peace and rebuilding as Dominaria takes a breather
Peace and rebuilding. Imagine the gathering.
and a magical device
Good
called
one.
the Mirari is discovered, which is said to grant great power and wishes, and the entire continent of Otaria, which means loser in Portuguese, by the way, goes to war.
Kissed on me, yeah, that's accurate. What were they cooking? I think they were cooking with some heat, to be fair. I honestly would have been fine if they just wiped the entire fucking plane out of existence. Just make sure the Phyrexians end up killing themselves somehow. That's what they gotta do.
Over it. A lady with an unlit planeswalker spark called Jessica is born as a pit fighter and killed
Jessica.
by her brother, who's driven mad by the Mirari. She's brought back by the Cabal, a totally legitimate business enterprise, as Phage,
Looks like
King
it.
Midas, but with death rather than gold. She goes to war with the Cabal's rival,
kinda cool.
a guy called Ixidor, and an angel he created, but
Hey,
then gets
a chroma.
killed again by her brother. This time because he's been working on himself and is sorry about what his Mirari madness has caused. So
What the what? Okay, I'm feeling like the past 3 minutes haven't gone super well. Yeah, I feel like the only way they cocked up was by having this whole Guff rewrites the story. I feel like you should just have a different way for this to happen. That card makes it look so much worse than it probably is. I'll be honest, that one on the left with the terrible fucking drawing in flowers.
Has the power it in the woods was having some
Let's go back to this.
created, but then gets killed again by her brother. This time,
This guy just loves killing his sister.
because he's
Real.
been working on himself and is sorry about what his Mirari madness has caused. So he stabs her with the Mirari sword that he'd previously given up and then reclaimed when he realized that leaving it in the woods was having some annihilation-style effects on the local flora and fauna.
What the fuck?
But then, because of some
What is even happening, man?
prophecy bollocks,
Some sword basically managed to artificially create basically Phyrexians at that point. Just way dumber and way more animalistic.
and the power of the Mirari now stuck in her chest, Jeska/Phage comes back as Corona, spelt with a K, YouTube. A very manifestation of all of Dominaria's mana. But because of her Planeswalker Spark, she's also able to explore the multiverse. But because of the Mirari, she's also kind of mad. Her existence and habit of leaving the
Very cool looking card though. Like, oh, I muted myself
area of
accidentally.
all of its mana to destroy, also able to explore the multiverse.
Corona False God. Very cool looking card.
But because of the Mirari,
Very unfortunate
she's also
life.
kind of mad. Her existence and habit of leaving the plane starts to drain Dominaria of all of its mana. So Khan manages to take her to an artifact plane called Argentum and takes the Mirari out of her to destroy this version of her form, rebirthing her for a third and final time as Jeska again, and finally igniting her Planeswalker
Makes sense. Jessica Thrice Reborn.
spark. Speaking
I like
of
it, I like it.
Planeswalkers, a girl called Liliana is born around here
Oh.
to a wealthy Dominarian family. But her brother falls sick.
The old lady who keeps trying to preserve her own life and fucking dudes who are like way younger than her.
With leftover Phyrexianitis. She meets a nice
Damn.
man with bird
Scary shit.
motifs in the woods, and he tells her to use a special herb to preserve her brother's life. This
That is
works
a knife.
exactly as one could have expected, immediately turning her brother into a zombie, and the trauma of that ignites her spark. Don't trust
Makes
men
sense.
with ravens. That's like one of the first 3 rules you learn about in forest navigation.
Leave no trace. Don't trust men with birds. Pee after sex.
But now we take
Random,
a
alright.
big break from Dominaria. Khan's on Argentum and transforms the Mirari into a metal man called Memnarch, both to watch over
I wonder how Miyari possibly could have gone wrong, this whole situation.
the plane and to keep the Mirari from falling into a villain's hands, but a single drop of Phyrexian oil leaks out of his butthole because he's still powered by Xantia's Phyrexian heart, and it begins to corrupt the plane and its new custodian. Over several
Hold on, what does I say? Political lobbying
Xantia's
from
Phyrexian heart, and it begins to corrupt the plane and its new
private corporations is a good thing, actually.
custodian.
Yeah.
Over several decades, the oil boat
How many
drives
reincarnations? Lots of these characters have been like brought back to life and just like fucking getting getting Kratos treatment from God of War Ragnarok, aren't they?
mad and lets him grow meat on his metal body. Gross. He
Ugh.
renames the plane to Mirrodin, kills all the native golems, and starts kidnapping creatures from other planes to breed a planeswalker spark. He finally succeeds with Glissa Sunstalker. Is it
Sunstalker.
Sunstalker? Hang on.
What a weird name. I miss the
Sunseeker.
Sunseeker.
Yeah, seeking is the less creepy version of stalking. He succeeds
Gotcha.
when Glissa Sunseeker is born, but she organizes with a group of other Mirrans to stop Memnarch's plans. But
Hell
in
yeah.
the final confrontation, both the elf and the wizard are slain just as Memnarch's machine activates and wipes out all life on Mirrodin, except for that of the goblin Slowbad, who the machine accidentally
Why?
implants with planeswalker powers rather than Memnarch.
Why?
Khan shows up, the
I'm
barriers
lost.
blocking him from the plane now gone, and offers to guide Slowbad throughout the multiverse. But the goblin decides instead to give up his spark to undo the death wave, resurrect Glissa, and return all but the non-natively born creatures of Mirrodin to their own
Slowbad Loki kind of goated? Damn.
worlds. Goblin Jesus is then fittingly
Goblin Jesus. He is basically Goblin Jesus. Jesus Christ. He does not look like the kind of character who's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna let there be life. Love it.
murdered for our sins by a clan of very confused and angry goblins, and the Mirari was given to Glissa for safekeeping. She must have hid it very well, because even the writers of Magic Story have forgotten it existed for the past 20 years.
She's good at her job.
Hey, do you like cool stuff?
Alright, we're skipping this. Where's the end? Yeah, I know why it's replayed. It's because people don't want to fucking listen to it. Give it a second.
Anyway, back to the video! Smash cut.
There is one goblin that is good, and apparently it's slow bad. You wouldn't have thought the one called slow bad would be the good goblin, but damn, what a good goblin.
To Ravnica, where
How did it survive though? That is a great point. It really is a cockroach, but it's a good one, I guess. Didn't know you could have good cockroaches.
everything is fine. Just kidding, a civil war is about to break out because of some proper film noir bollocks. A secret 10th guild, the Demir, led by Zadek, a vampire, is planning on taking over the city world for themselves. But they're stopped, and Zadek is arrested just in the nick of time by Agris Kos, a down-on-his-luck Boros cop from a...
Why does romantic music start playing? What the hell?
A failed marriage with a drinking problem who's just one day away from retirement. Hey, I'm a storytelling trope over here. Hooray, the city is saved. But Zadek getting arrested was actually all part of the plan.
All part of my
Because
cake.
Demir's purpose, as secretly written in the Guild Pact, was to oppose the Guild Pact. Zadek's machinations were well within his guild's duties, and so his arrest breaches the magical contract which protects guilds in their assigned roles and destroys the Guild Pact entirely, which was Zadek's plan all along. But then,
All
the
according
leader
to
of the
Kakaku.
Azorius assassinates Zadek in prison to use his ghost as a weapon to seize power for himself. But then, Kos, who's a ghost
But
now,
then-
in a dragon-related incident in which he saved the city for a second time, traps Zadek's soul himself and unleashes that on Augustin, saving Ravnica for a third time. A
Jesus
new
Christ, August
magical
Coast,
guild pact
also
was
goated.
drafted
Lots
by
of
Taysa
just random goated characters just appear out of nowhere. I love it.
Karlov to bring
But again, that is kind of what happens when you have what is it, 30 years? 30 years of story? Maybe longer?
about an end to all of these contrivances, and a very tenuous peace is reformed on Ravnica. Wait, what was that sound?
Is that Miguel O'Hara?
It's the mending. Okay, so you remember all the space-time design?
There is a creature that is more survivable than cockroaches. I forget the name of it, but it's a type of bacteria.
Disasters that were going on Dominaria throughout its history, well, turns out they've taken quite a toll on the entire multiverse, and now they need to be fixed, or everyone, everywhere, all at once will unravel and cease to be. Teferi, Jeska, Lord Windgrace Freyleys, and some new kids on the block, Rada and Venser, come together to close the time rifts. Both Catman and Poison Ivy die closing theirs. Teferi gives up his spark to close his, returning Shiv to Dominaria but being unable to return Zalfir. Jeska gets manipulated by Leshrac, who returns to the story just long enough to get killed by a resurrected Nicol Bolas, who came back because of the rift that he opened whilst fighting that Leviathan 1,000 years ago. Nicol Bolas uses Leshrac's life to close that rift, then Jeska dies herself, closing the rift that had been caused by her rebirth as Corona. Rest in peace, baby doll. Khan closes the final rift by going back in time to the Isle of Teleria before Baron...
Oh, I think I might be thinking of the Conan the Bacterium, or Dianocosis radiodurans, which can survive a lot of radiation, extreme heat, deep freeze, dehydration, vacuums, acid, etc., 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 etc. But because it's got basically it has multiple copies of its own DNA, so it just like switches back and forth between them. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, no, not the immortal bear. I thought it was like this weird bear-looking creature. I think it like it's that bug mites or something, like bed mite. No, I'm lost. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I know that they were in a Family Guy episode, but I don't think they actually went over its indestructible nature. But I guess it might be what I just looked up. It could be a different one. I don't know. There's a lot of bacteria that just survives fucking everything.
Blew it up and sacrificing his spark. He's flung back to the present and immediately feels the corrupting Phyrexian oil in his heart, which had up until this point been kept dormant due to his spark, beginning to overtake him. He uses the last of his Planeswalker magic to flee to the heart of Mirrodin and contain himself there, leaving a message that none should follow.
Fuck it off on my
final
own.
rift
All right.
sealing not only saves the multiverse, but significantly depowers all Planeswalkers.
Yep.
Rather than being near gods, they now must contend...
Which is fucking great, because, oh my fucking god, if he was still a near god, then he could just wake up with the Phyrexian abilities and kill everyone. But alright.
with only being hyper-powerful mages and warriors. They're also
Only.
on cards now, which 20-something years later, everyone agrees was a great narrative move and kind of a mechanical mistake. At the same time as
Really?
all of this, Kamigawa completes its digital revolution, very cool. Nicole Bolas
Very
turns off
cool. Very amazing. I like the digital age. I love my Neon Dynasty. Oh, many Fox Go. Yes. I like the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty.
head and genocides the plane of everyone over the age of 5 and begins his cruel plans to reascend
Death.
the mending god.
Love it.
Whack. Liliana is guided by Nicol Bolas to 4 demons to sign her soul away in exchange
She's such
for
an
cool
idiot.
full body
But, like,
tattoos
obviously
and
there's
also
reason why.
eternal youth and lots of power, concerning, and an elf called Nissa is
Concerning.
born. Ooh! On
Ew,
Zendikar, the
sure.
young Nissa feels a connection to the world which is roiling with pain because of those 3 skyscraper-sized eldritch splinters trapped in one of its mountain ranges. Nissa goes to investigate what's hurting her world and is mind-blasted into planeswalking to a world
Oh,
called Lorwyn.
love it.
Starwipe to Lorwyn, and holy macaroni, what a delightful Celtic-inspired world of an eternal summer's afternoon that a really cool person who's also
Yeah.
good at sex made a totally not bloated video essay about. Everything's pretty good on
Alright.
Lorwyn, except for the elf Nazis, who Nissa meets hunting down the plane's native goblins for quite literally the crime of being ugly.
Honestly, fairly valid. If I were able to, I'd hunt down people for being ugly too.
As it turns out, however, the plane has an inverted side that overtakes the world every 300 years. Nissa sees this happening and skedaddles before she's called
Stop,
to the
fuck that shit.
world-altering Aurora.
I would love if someone went back to Lorwyn and showed what would happen if a normal planeswalker got hit by that or something. Or if just a normal person gets hit by him. What happens? Tell me. Tell me!
Lorwyn into Shadowmoor, where everybody but the elves are Nazis. Is that worse? I guess.
What do you mean you guess? What's better? One Nazi or fucking 6 of them? Am I missing something? Fuck you mean I guess?
Una, the queen of the Fae on Lorwyn, knew the shift was coming and made a copy of herself that would retain
It's Loki just like real life for real.
her memories when the Aurora came so that she could remain in control of the world.
Yep.
The copy, an elf called Marilyn, was like, actually, I'ma fuck off on my own for a bit.
Mother,
And when
I
the Aurora
long
hit,
to
ended
fuck
up
off.
defeating Una and restoring the day-night cycle of Lorwyn and Shadowmoor rather than it being a thrice
Get your
centennial
ass.
event. Why not celebrate this victory with another baby?
I love
Tezzeret
babies,
is born on
apparently.
Esper, a cruel artificial realm where people are partially made of metal, with the upper classes' bodies being supplemented with precious ethereum, and metal must always
Sure.
be recycled. He ferociously
Oh, that
pushes
was-
to train
yeah,
himself to
fucked
ascend
up,
the
alright.
class structure, but when he's rebuffed one too many times, he tries to steal the filigree texts. Essentially, this world's equivalent of the Quran, Encyclopedia Britannica, and The Way Things Work all rolled into one. But he finds the
Okay.
author pulling
Why
a
the
Kung
Quran?
Fu Panda
Sorry,
dragon
I feel like the
style
Quran is just such a random religious text to use. You'd expect the British guy to use the Bible. Whatever. Moving on.
Every page is blank, and the guards try and kill him as his planeswalker spark ignites and he meets Nicol Bolas, who promises him power in exchange for service. Ow,
Yep.
my brain! Was that an overload of fun lore knowledge? No, that was Jace Beleren being born on a Tales from the Loop-looking war world as a dirt-poor but hyper-powerful mind mage who gets trained in the art
yes,
of mind
poor people.
thievery by the Sphinx Alahammerit. Turns
Ah,
out,
yes,
however,
Alahammerit,
that
not the
old
other
Al
guy.
is manipulating Jace into carrying out espionage for both sides of a civil war and profiteering off of it. So Jace makes him
Buy a new
forget
jet
how
ski.
to breathe, which is the sickest way a mind mage could ever kill someone, and Alhammerit wipes the
Nice.
boy's mind with his last act, which causes Jace's planeswalker spark to activate, and he finds himself on Ravnica with no knowledge of who he is.
Maybe I
He
used to
ends
make
up working for
EDM,
a
bro.
multiversal requisitions organization called the Infinite Consortium, ran by
feel
the
like I
most
recognize that name.
inconsistently drawn character in Magic the Gathering's entire history.
Ah, yes, my favorite white, black guy. You know, I wonder what he is.
What does the Infinite Consortium do? Well,
Jace's
its
new
boss,
gal? Yeah,
Tezzeret,
we're gonna see him
made
in a
a
sec-
deal with
see her in a sec.
Phyrexian forces growing in the heart of Mirrodin and developed a device on Kamigawa, which he then tried to use to control the spirit dragon Kyodai to enable travel between realms.
Now we're going
to
through
not
Kamigawa
break
Neon
the
Dynasty,
Phyrexia.
nice.
But his
We really
plan
are just, like,
fails, and
fucking
instead
speeding
ignites
through
the
it all,
Emperor
aren't
of
we?
Kamigawa's planeswalker spark, rendering both it and her memory unstable, and she disappears from the plane. Then her childhood friend Kaito gets an origami robot Tanuki with a spirit inside.
Kaito like Loki locks in because Kaito is that guy. I'm still waiting for Kamigawa Titan Breaker to come out, so that like, oh, Titan Breach to come out, so that he comes back and he has like a wife and like 6. I'm hoping that him and the Emperor shack up and have like 6 kids. That's my hope for the story. I'll be honest. Like yeah, I'm looking forward to the Pacific Rim story, but I'm also really looking forward to learning that him and her shack up and have like 7 kids. The number will keep going up each time I mention it, by the way.
That ignites his spark, and he goes looking for her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they do stuff like that. But Jace isn't
Fire.
the only baby among us. Chandra,
Among Us?
daughter of the inventor renegades Pierre and Kieran, is
Shut the
born
fuck
and becomes a pyromancer, which is both rare and illegal on her Cogpunk India-inspired homeworld of Kaladesh. And soon a
You would think people would want fire powers on the metal-based plane to better make metal-based products. But alright.
called Baral tracks her family down.
I didn't realize Chandra was Indian.
Kills the dad, and then Chandra explodes him and planeswalks to Ragathur to train in the pyromancer ways. I guess blue lives don't matter after all. Zing! A planeswalker called Vivian Reed is also born around this time on Scala, a plane that will one day be destroyed by Nicol Bolas for some reason. She is entrusted
No response as to why I did this, much less how. Okay.
The Arc Bow, both a magical database for all of our home plane's native fauna, but also a powerful weapon designed explicitly to be a weapon to destroy Nicol Bolas.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would you make your planet's arc of life, your Noah's Ark of your world, also be your weapon to kill people? Wouldn't it make sense to make those separate? Feels like it wasn't very thought through, but alright. Moving on.
Elspeth, another planeswalker, is
My goat!
Gee.
I feel like Elspeth and Nazira, whatever the fuck her name is, the girl who is right now inside of a rock like fucking Wukong, are probably my favorite characters in Magic. Ajani's also there. I like felothar, but that's because I'm making a deck on her, so who fucking knows if I actually like her. But anyway, moving on.
It's like someone was putting chemicals in the water to turn the freaking baby's magic. It's not entirely clear where she was born, as her mother says that the plane of Capenna welcomed them, and Elspeth herself prays to Sarah of Sarah's realm fame, potentially meaning that they're refugees from...
I feel like the implication is meant to be they're from Sarah's plane, they got knocked out of Sarah's plane into Capenna, and then they left again. Is at least my understanding of it, my very limited understanding.
One of the realms that the Angel Planeswalker visited. Either way, she has a...
Maybe her mum is from Capenna and then went to Sarah's plane and then got knocked up. That's also possible.
Normal childhood, being kept in a Phyrexian prison for most of her life. Yes,
very
the
normal.
Phyrexians are on Capenna as well. Her spark ignites
fucking everywhere.
before she suffers death via vivisection, arriving on the ancient Greek-inspired plane of Theros, finding a sword that falls out of the...
And then she becomes Kratos, as we know. She basically is Kratos. Kratos.
Panicking and planeswalking away yet again to Bant, a literal evangelical crusader plane that only gets a pass because Rhino monks and Lion knights are dope to look at. Kitty plane panicking.
Why is it? Oh, sorry. Why is that the reason it gets a pass?
A literal evangelical crusader.
That's cool as fuck. What do you mean? What do you mean it only gets a pass because of that? That's so fucking cool. I love me an evangelical crusader plane. That goes hard as fuck.
That only gets a pass.
I'm so. What do you mean it only gets a... That's cool as fuck. That is a beautiful piece of art. That is like Renaissance level art. My god. Good on you, Greg. Greg Staples. I'm looking up Greg Staples because of how fucking cool this is. And this guy pissed me off. I just got irritated by something. Because I feel like I know why he said that. And I think that the reason he said that is stupid as fuck. Anyway. Greg Staples art. Images. Alright. I've now got it up in here. So if you ever need to look at it, it's there. I'm not going to be looking at the stream more than likely. But anyway. Fucking weirdo.
Rhino monks and Lion knights are dope to look at. Kithian
Only
is
gets
our
a
last
pass.
magic infant born around this
Yep.
time and is naturally indestructible.
Okay, so
He runs with a
Hercules.
crew of trouble-quelling kids
So he's Hercules, Elspeth is Kratos, you know, pretty normal stuff.
in the Therosian city of Akros and gets arrested. Growing up in a
Bum.
prison, he learns how to use law magic, but instead of becoming a narc, he ends up returning to a life of community defense, getting noticed by the god of the sun, Heliod,
Exactly.
and given a magic spear. He uses
Hell yeah.
Heliod's magic to slay a zombie giant like the god asked of him, but when he tries to use it to kill Erebos, the god of the dead himself, the magic backfires, killing all of his friends, leaving him traumatized, igniting his spark, and planeswalking to Bant. The
Oh,
first
damn.
person he meets can't pronounce Grecian-style names, calling him Gideon, and the kid just kind of runs with it for the rest of his life. Let's check in
What? That's why he gets called Gideon? The fuck?
with
So
Tezzeret.
Gideon is naturally indestructible. Goddamn.
Oh no,
Goated.
he's gone home only to be usurped from running his consortium by Jace, and they fight.
The goat.
With Jace
There goes your
trying to
chance at a
steal Carl's
promotion.
brain,
Love
as
it.
well as cutting off his liquid metal arm. Nicol Bolas then turns up and quietly collects his one-time rival's body, Tezzeret having originally usurped the consortium from the dragon. Nicol Bolas revives
He's
him,
not
gives
still
him a
mad.
new arm,
Alright.
and then brands him with a forehead tattoo to forever remind him of where his loyalty now lies.
Oh, that's what that tattoo's about. I thought it was just like some really cool, just a really cool tattoo or some like marking he had. But alright, fair enough.
Jesus. But Jace wasn't alone. Liliana has been manipulating him, both strategically and romantically, into staging the coup. She's on her own quest to rid herself of her demon contract while
She wants to get dick down.
retaining all the power it gave her, and finds a gaudy face accessory in some ogre's tomb. She uses the chain
Kill that
veil's
ogre.
dark magic
Why
to
does that
fashion
troll
face
low-key look like
accessory in some ogre.
that ogre kind of reminds me of the troll from Harry Potter that goes into the bathroom with a bunch of little girls and starts attacking a little girl and then gets Wingardium Leviosa, well, a stick Wingardium Leviosa and bashed around his head. Anyway.
Too. She uses the chain veil's dark magic to destroy one of the 4 signatory demons who own her soul, and also to curse another planeswalker called Garruk when
Garruk is also cool, I think. I actually don't think I went for a video on him. He just looks really fucking cool, and I've seen that he's in the new set, so I'm hopefully going to get one of his cards.
the two get into a fight. Garruk fails to junt her out, and she escapes
Garruk
as
the
the
Veil
curse
Cursed.
begins to corrupt him. Wait,
Ooh.
what the pissing Nora does junt her out mean? Could it possibly be referring to the Shard of Jund, part of the fractured plane called Alara, where Bant Esper,
I'm going to bet that since you're going over all this information, the answer is no.
Grixis, and Naya were all once one? Gee, I wonder what would happen if they...
Oh, we're
converged
talking
together
about
again.
we're
That's
talking about
the
convergence.
question on
Okay.
Nicol Bolas's weird lips. You see, the
think
plane
he
was
has
once
lips.
unified, but an unknown planeswalker plundered the plane for mana and shattered it into 5. Now Bolas seeks to reunify the shards and siphon the immense power that would generate to roid up his planeswalker spark again. He starts manipulating the magic and people of all the 5 shards into
I remember when Marisi gets, what's his name, Ajani's brother killed. That was sad.
about the conflux, but is ultimately
glad
stopped
Ajani
from
killed him.
succeeding by Ajani, a
Okay.
Leonin planeswalker and disaster magnet who uses soul magic to conjure an effigy of Bolas's soul and uses it to banish the dragon from the new.
I do love it when characters have an ability that the main villain uses and then uses it like specifically to target them, or a character who does something that is completely outside of his group's abilities and then uses that to go after an enemy. It's cool as fuck. It's the same thing with Jace. The premise of him being a mind mage and Nicol Bolas being a mind mage and then fighting with mind mage powers is pretty cool. And Ajani using soul bullshit is also cool. A big tiger mage defeating a dragon by making a soul dragon to punch the dragon is just, that goes hard as fuck. What can I say? It feels like a JoJo reference, even if it isn't.
Plane, and all is well.
For now.
Just kidding. Turns out the Crusader Kingdom doesn't like Zombie World, which doesn't care for Magic Amazon, who dislikes Reddit's idea of Utopia, which wants to destroy Jurassic Park, which wants to eat modded CK3, and now the whole world's at war.
Yeah,
Let's
makes
get
sense.
out of here and head to Zendikar.
Yeah,
Woo!
no shit, those groups are not gonna like each other. Who would have thought?
Back, baby!
Different groups don't like each other and probably shouldn't be in the same area. I'm definitely still talking about them in the video.
Arrives after having stolen a magical text called the Dragon Scroll.
Mhm.
Sarkhan's also here, an exiled Mardu clansman from the hyper-orientalist plane of Tarkir, who loves dragons so much he will one day cause genocides just to hang out with them at home.
He jerks off the dragons so hard, man.
He saw
I like
Bolas
him,
on
but
Alara,
goddamn.
and because he's at a level of horny
Hey, that
for
reminds me.
dragons that
Let me check
ought to
some.
be illegal, willingly becomes his pawn and is hanging out guarding something called the Eye of Ugin, whatever that is. Chandra turns up because something about the spell she's trying to crack mentioned the Eye of Ugin, and Sarkhan attacks her but is thwarted by Jace, who turns up because the consortium was hired to retrieve the scroll from Chandra. Chandra uses the magic of the scroll to defeat Sarkhan, and it turns out that that magic is Ugin's Ghostfire. 3 planeswalkers plus Ghostfire plus Eye of Ugin equals Eldrazi O'Clock, baby!
And now we're into this one,
Hold on to
alright.
your butts. They're about to either get mad or weird or dusty. Allegedly, this was all part of
Stop
Bolas's
eating people,
master
bro.
plan, with him manipulating Chandra into seeking the scroll and then hiring the consortium.
I will say, it feels weird that Bolas wants the Eldrazi to come back. Like, it feels like a really weird thing to want another enemy that will be another thing for you to worry about when you take over the world. But like, I'm not like the 1,000-year-old dragon who wants to do this or this shit. Nor am I the writer who wrote it. So, who cares?
A proxy to hunt her down, but it's never explained how this helps him in any way, and as we shall see, ends
Exactly.
up forming the very organization that will one day defeat him.
Type shit.
Nissa ends up rushing to the eye along with
Couldn't be
Soren
me.
to
I
try
won't
and
do that.
undo the damage, but ends up deciding
Sewer, I assume you mean swear. So they just needed a reason for everyone to go to war with each other. Exactly.
instead to totally free the Eldrazi, hoping that they'll just piss off into magic space or something after having been trapped for so long in her world's mountain.
Why would they do that?
This
Is she
totally
fucking
doesn't
dumb?
work, although
No offense, lady, but what the fuck was the plan here? Real.
she would have just
God damn, I hate you, Soren, but that is valid as fuck.
another world to being completely devoured by Abstract Galactus, and instead Ulamog the Destroyer, Emrakul the Corruptor, and Kozilek, the one who traps you in your level's geometry, starts rampaging
What?
through and destroying Zendikar. Great job, Nissa. You
Who would have
smell.
thought?
Gideon turns up.
I was
and
temporary.
destroys
Hold on,
Zendikar.
what?
Great job, Nissa. You smell.
I was also temporarily written to be an elf supremacist. That feels quite ironic, because I swear in Lorwyn, she wasn't okay with elves preferring themselves over everyone else. Anyway.
Gideon turns up, punches
Fucking knife ears, man.
a few thousand monsters, and then starts traveling the multiverse, petitioning other planeswalkers to join the fight against the Eldrazi. Kind of like a Shen Yun world tour, except Gideon isn't the uncritically accepted PR campaign of a literal cult who uses anti-communist sentiment to promote a religion whose spiritual leader claims to be a messiah.
I stopped paying attention. What's going on here?
Kind of like a Shen Yun world tour, except Gideon isn't the uncritically accepted PR campaign of a literal cult who uses anti-communist sentiment to promote a religion whose spiritual leader claims to be a messiah sent to Earth to fight the aliens who allegedly introduced the evils of evolutionary thought, homosexuality, and race mixing to our planet.
Anti-communism is valid. The rest, I'm a little bit lost, I'll be honest. But damn, alright.
Look, I lived in London for like half a year. Seeing at least 4 of these posters on my way to and from work each day instilled a pressurized contempt in me that occasionally needs to be released or I'll suffer a hernia.
I think I can tell what kind of guy this guy is. Anyway,
Wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Koth. Koth is a Volshock planeswalker from Mirrodin who's following Gideon's lead in asking for help with his own problem.
It's random. There were, to be fair, every time I went to London when I was younger, there was a Shen Yun poster, so he does have a fair point. But yeah. It's just a lot of random shit, basically.
Cult who uses anti-communist sentiment to promote a religion.
Fight evil with evil. She uses good thoughts to promote a religion, so a cult, to promote a cult.
Earth to fight the aliens who are to our
It'd be really funny if she was the right one, like if she was just correct and that her cult was real.
Look, I lived in London for like half.
Anyway.
Wait, what was I talking about? Gideon. Oh yeah, Koth.
I just realized. Anyway, I'm not going to go over that.
Is a Volshock planeswalker
Can't do that
from Mirrodin
online.
who's following Gideon's
Not
lead
when I'm
and
getting
asking
recorded.
for help with his own problem, the re-emergence of Phyrexian creatures and corruption in his homeworld. A few
Skill
people,
issue.
Esper and Venser, join Koth, and ho
Hell yeah,
boy, do
Elspeth.
they find some shit when they arrive. People are getting oiled up left, right, and center. Glisser's now on team.
I'm going to oil you up. Anyway, moving on.
Team Goo, 5 new Phyrexian Praetors are winning out against the 5
Hell yeah.
respective areas of Mirrodin who were all too caught up in petty squabbles or inaction far too long after the threat became apparent, and Khan is being worshipped as the new father of machines in Mirrodin's core. The plane is almost completely lost to Phyrexia apart from a few minor wins. First, Venser gives up his spark to Khan, freeing him from the corruption and letting him escape from the plane, although dying in the process, and Koth
Unfortunate.
remains to fight alongside the Mirren resistance.
Koth is just running the
Taking
fade.
for
You love to
people
see it.
from all over the world who take their protracted Mirren's war quite literally underground. Amongst them as well is a lady called Melira, who seems to be uniquely immune to
Don't
the
know who that is, but alright.
crisis. The 5
Nice.
Praetors, Urabrask,
If this
and
were any other story, she would be like taken in for experimentation to figure out how she does it, and then everyone would have it as like the perfect end all be all cure for Phyrexian.
Vorinclex,
That's
Sheldred,
Phyrexius.
and most importantly, Elesh Norn are now in almost total control of Mirrodin and rename it New Phyrexia.
Whoa!
Bloody colonizers. We poodle on over to Innistrad now, where to New Phyrexia. Bloody
New South Wales, New Spain, New Scotia, New England. Anyway,
colonizers, we
Khan became a clanker dad. He's been a clanker dad for a fucking while. Because he's a clanker. He's had many clanker babies. Such as the original guy who made Mirrodin was made by him fucking an orb. And then, well, no. I guess he took the orb and they transformed it into another creature. Technically has been a clanker dad for a fucking hot minute. And based on this video probably like 20 minutes ago? 15 minutes ago? God, I just realized we're at 37 minutes and I've been streaming for an hour and 30 minutes. I have managed to put an additional hour into this video. God damn, I'm good at my job.
Now where... Oh Christ, what's going on? The archangel that Soren created to protect the plane is nowhere to be found.
Unfortunate.
Devils, demons, and little steampunk freaks to run the show. Liliana shows
just kill them all.
Another one of her
As we know, like rule of thumb, just with this plane, you just gotta get more angels. Just kill them all. Angels for the win.
Demon masters, Grizzlebrand, and is pursued by an increasingly mouldy Garrick. She discovers that both the Archangel and Demon Master tripped over each other and fell into the Hell Vault and goads the lady called Thalia into either destroying the rock or letting all of her men be slaughtered by Liliana's zombies. She relents and breaks the Hell Vault, allowing for the return of Avacyn as well as many of Innistrad's demons, one of which Liliana immediately kills. Sucks to be you, Grizzly, and whilst no one's paying attention, one extremely...
My goat Nahiri! Yes, I am incredibly biased.
Core climbs out and teleports away. But we'll return to Innistrad later. What's been going on in Ravnica? Well, it's been a minute and Civil War has been delayed, but tensions are rising, as Niv Mizzet, one of the last remaining original patrons of the guilds, has discovered the implicit maze, a scavenger quest left behind by Azor to be found and solved in case the original guild pact was ever broken, which would designate its solver as the new living guild pact of the world.
Which is Jace.
Ends up solving the puzzle whilst dodging
Jace the goat.
Attempts from the Golden Planeswalker Vraska.
His girlfriend. His future girlfriend right there.
By mind controlling.
He just loves tentacle porn. Maybe Jace is actually Asian and he just really liked tentacle porn.
All of the guild's
a classic video, yeah. It's going through a lot.
Final confrontation, which technically meets the maze's secret victory condition of somebody actually getting all of the guilds to cooperate for 5 minutes and begrudgingly becomes the living guild pact of Ravnica, essentially the district attorney for the entire world. But what happens to
It feels like every character that any main character in any story that reaches like a high level in like a corporation or in a group or whatever, they always hate their lives. I'm looking at narrative right now, but nonetheless, this also works for Jace.
I hear you cry. Well,
what happened to Elspeth?
Well, she fucking died, didn't she?
Rowan, you're supposed to come in before the line. Jesus, how are you so bad at this? Well, she arrives back.
I don't get whatever this joke is. It's weird.
Find new meaning after what she feels is the final defeat at Phyrex's hand that she can stand. Heliod notices her and the blade she's wielding and
he's like, "Oh, that's mine."
Quest to become his new champion with sinister intentions. At the same time, the Planeswalker has grown bored of all the multiverse has to offer and decides to attain godhood on his home plane, manipulating the gods into warring with each other and using a great revel to ascend to Nyx. Elspeth,
can anyone just ascend to godhood in Ferret? Okay.
Who accidentally killed a guy called Daxos, who she was man-sweet for. I've written man-sweet.
I believe man-sweet means she wanted to shag him. But this guy's
pretty sure I should have written mad-sweet. But man-sweet also does work. She kills him due to the fervor brought about by Xenagos' revel, and so follows the satyr into the realm of stars.
Hold on, my video's struggling. Give me a sec.
Due to the fervor brought about by Xenagos' revel, and so follows the satyr into the realm of stars and defeats him, only to be slain by Heliod because, at the end of the day, all he really wanted was his sword back. Oh, and Ajani, one of Elspeth's best friends, is there, and not super jazzed by
Ajani dislikes that.
Also,
I'm looking forward to Ajani killing a lot of people. Doesn't he just get a bunch of his followers to start not believing in Ferros and telling everyone not to believe in him, and then he just fucking evaporates?
A lady called Kiora shows up and nicks the sea god's trident, and stories of...
Funny that they bring up Kiora now that we're getting that underwater set. At least it's on my mind when I see it now.
About how it was the funniest shit ever to go down. But what's going on over on this plane? Fiora is a Renaissance Venice-looking land whose main seat of power, the high city of Paliano, is caught in a power struggle. The good king...
Hey, Greek gods are complete fucking bums, so it lines up historically.
Died died, but then came back as a ghostly despot, and a bunch of different characters are all vying to take the throne. Let's check back in to see if any of them do
What if
so
it became a
in few
constitutional
years.
monarchy?
For now, though, it's... Tarkir time. Soren arrives on Tarkir looking for Ugin because he should have shown up.
I love me some Tarkir. I'm a big fan of the Dragonstorm set. No? Whoops.
The Eldrazi got out of their prison, but all he finds are the bones of the long-dead spirit dragon. Bones that Sarkhan also shows up at thanks to a guided tour from the leader of the Jeskai monks, Narset.
Hey,
Sarkhan's
Narset.
now disillusioned.
She's coming back later.
And hearing a new dragon's voice in his head, which he suspects is that of Ugin. Narset gets knackered.
Ugin's like, yo, bro, go back in time. Go back in time. Bring me back to life. Bring me back to life. I need to kill my brother.
Before the Dragon Man can do anything, he gets transported back in time. This is where he
Oh,
changes
wait, no,
fate
he
and
gets...
saves Ugin's
Never
life
mind.
after his battle with Bolus.
Never mind.
You see, originally, he wasn't supposed to be at that punch-up, and Ugin was slain by Bolus.
Yep.
But now fate has been reforged, and Sarkhan puts Ugin in a magically
Alright.
induced coma to
Product
hype him
placement.
up. When Sarkhan comes back to the new future, dragons have become the total rule.
Not the greatest thing. Greek gods are all, either bums with fraud allegations, absolutely free. Why can't they be both? Why can't they be both? Combine both thoughts of slander into one perfect harmony, and that is what Greek gods are. They're all freaky as shit. They're all frauds, and they are all bums.
Over Tarkir with the mortals of the plane subjugated. You see, Ugin's presence on the plane created dragon storms that disappeared when he died and allowed for the mortal clans to reclaim their plane from the invading dragons. However, in this new timeline, Ugin's millennia-long coma intensifies these tempests, probably because this cocoon looks uncomfortable enough to produce magical night terrors and leads the dragons to winning a total victory
that's not
over
great.
the clans. Just as a sidebar, originally in the story, Ugin was a native to Tarkir and part of its very elemental soul, and so too, therefore, were the dragon storms. So the politics of
Wait, how was
segregation and
he...
domination...
Hold on, I'm a little bit lost. How was he a native to it if he was born from the back of a dragon that was basically just spitting its eggs out everywhere? I'm a little bit lost on that, but alright. Doesn't that also mean that both Ugin and Nicol Bolas are also for this plane? I'm a little bit lost on that. Prometheus, of course? Probably, yeah. I mean, he gives fire to us, that's cool. I remember that there was some weird Adult Swim show that was trying to take the piss out of him, but who cares? It's Adult Swim. Like, half their shits are fumbles. Half their shows are terrible.
Two, therefore, were the dragon storms, so the politics of subjugation and domination were a bit more complicated. But then he was retconned to be Bolus's twin brother, so now he's just a dominarian settler, and the dragons are an intrusive, occupying force.
Got you. The only reason I would care about the dragons being an intrusive, occupying force if they were actually doing like, is only when they're doing negative shit. If they were like being positive and like providing for the plane, they were introducing magic, they were introducing this, they were introducing that, they were improving technology, they were improving the standard of living, then who gives a fuck, you know?
Anyway, in this future, all 5 of the clan's cultures have been destroyed or remade. Their civilizations now exclusively function in service of dragonkind.
Yep.
Any worship or even knowledge of their past reality is met with death via dragon breath, and this is
Rough.
Good thing? Not sure about that.
Good thing for Sarkhan, not many other people.
Anyway, Ugin wakes up in this timeline to go to stop the Eldrazi, and Narset's also alive and a planeswalker now, and she teleports away to, I don't know, find herself.
Just lock in, I
Speaking of
guess.
Zendikar, it's all hands to the pump as most of the plane has already been destroyed. An all-star team of planes...
Sorry, I need to make an immature joke about the pump. I love putting hands on my pump as well. YouTube's not really... Oh. What's going on with YouTube? Let me just bring that up real quick.
Walkers including Gideon, Nissa, Jace, Kiora briefly, and Ugin arrive to combat the monsters and destroy their material forms. Ugin warns that trapping them is better because the Titans are just physical representation.
Do tell me if the stream is struggling, because apparently it's going to be buffering for you guys, so... Yeah, I did not solve my internet today.
Of the Eldrazi, and imprisoning those avatars here protects the wider multiverse, but everybody simultaneously says, yeah, how well did that work out last time? And before Ugin can point out that both Nissa and Jace are super to blame for shit going sideways in the first place,
Real.
Operation Blow Up Cthulhu is enacted, with Chandra jumping in to deal the final blow to Ulamog and Kozilek, saving the day and forming the Gatewatch, a Planeswalker strike team of multiversal protectors. Oh, there's also the sickest scene in all of Magic's history, where the
what is
demon Planeswalker stalker Obnixilus takes on all of the Gatewatch at the same time in order to destroy a trap made to capture Ulamog and regain his own spark, and manages to almost defeat them, getting around Gideon's indestructible skin by holding his face in a puddle.
Are you fucking serious?
Down hard
That indestructible. Damn, alright.
into the muddy water. He
I guess his body is indestructible, but he's not actually indestructible.
thrashed and flailed. He sputtered and coughed, struggling to get purchase. I could feel the despair and fear as his hand slipped in the mud. Invulnerability was no match for 3 inches of dirty water.
3 inches of venom.
Not entirely sure why the voice of Obnixilus in my head is that of a disgruntled southern dandy, but I'll be damned if I don't point out ice-cold lines when they appear. But wait, only 2 titans were destroyed. Where's Emrakul? Well, over to the greener pastures of Innistrad, where... Fuck me, what now? Everyone's losing their
Nothing
minds
goes
for
right.
some reason, including Avacyn and 2 of her sisters, forcing Soren to slay his Archangel before she kills any more innocent people.
I can't lie, Anguish Dominating, masking is... That card goes hard as fuck.
Demons, zombies, and devils are making a big comeback, and a new cult worshipping a new symbol has cropped up. Jace arrives to investigate the ruckus and finds that Nahiri has been manipulating the population and the very land itself to guide Emrakul to the plane, to do to Innistrad what she blames Soren for bringing to Zendikar. She also kills most
Very valid, fuck Soren.
of Soren's vampire family before trapping him in a wall like how he stuffed her in the Hell Vault. A
Valid
fine
as
prank
fuck.
in amidst a magical genocide.
I think
Avacyn's
genocide
death
is,
breaks down the
warranted.
final barrier needed for Emrakul to arrive, and the Gatewatch gather to seal her away in the silver moon of the plane with
Okay, my stream quality is suffering, so I'm going to leave it for like 5 seconds, come back, and see how it goes. I will go take a piss. Hopefully my stream will fix itself by the time I'm back. Where's my shit? Give me. Okay. Yo, I'm back. Oh. Oh. Stream is no longer struggling. That's great. What happened? Stream basically just my internet was struggling. So I just dipped and took a piss for a second. 10 out of 10 piss, by the way. I think what I'm going to do is, just because this stream has been going on for so long, is I'm going to continue up until the end of the Rise of the Gatewatch, just before the War of the Spark, and I'll leave it off there. I've managed to turn 44 minutes into an hour and 44 minutes. I guess 4 minutes can be removed for me going to take a piss, but nonetheless.
Liliana and Tamios.
I will wait for a second. Yabram for a bit, just in case anyone wants to pop up. I don't want to just, quickly fast forwards and you can't see none. I think that's long enough. Alright, let's get right into it.
Avacyn's death. She also kills most of Soren's vampire family before trapping him in a wall, like how he stuffed her in the Hell Vault. A funny prank in amidst a magical genocide.
I do not care about genocide, man. Like, yes, they're sad, but like at a certain point, this one was fairly justified, I'd say.
Avacyn's death breaks down the final barrier needed for Emrakul to arrive, and the Gatewatch gather to seal her away in the silver moon of the plane with Liliana and Tamios' help. The former of which begrudgingly agreeing to join the Gatewatch afterwards, and Innistrad is left with just one angel watching over it. Both Nissa and Tamio report off.
Hopefully the angels lock. Honestly, the angels in this story need to lock in. All of the celestial, the holy beings need to just lock in, kill all the as many unholy beings as possible. I much prefer a storyline where the holy beings have been so successful that they get to be evil themselves than I would seeing one where evil just runs amok.
Afterwards, that they didn't act of their own volition, and Emrakul had manipulated them into sealing her away for some reason. However, this has never been addressed in the last 8 years of Magic's narrative.
And it never will.
So who knows if this interesting tidbit has any plot relevance. Speaking of plot relevance, how are things going on Fiora? Well, this ghost assassin called Kaya was hired to kill the king, very cool, but as a result, an infamous native assassin has taken over the city.
Whoa!
Some riotous goblins, dispossessed naturalists, and ex-members of the guard are all jostling to lead a revolution against her.
I don't know, Loki kind of that.
Which faction will take the crown? Who knows? Conspiracy 3 hasn't been released yet. Back to the actual story.
Right.
The Gatewatch then travels to Kaladesh after being hired by a planeswalker called Darvin Barn, who wants them to run security for the Plains Inventors Fair. Chandra discovers that her mum is alive and still doing cool revolutionary stuff, but she, her mum, and Nissa get captured by a severely burnt but still alive Baral and are to be executed in combat.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend I remember who Baral is.
With the head judge of the fair, who, surprise, surprise, is Tezzeret. However, the sudden appearance of the rest of the Gatewatch, along with Ajani, who signed up to their mailing list a little bit earlier, causes Tezzeret to flee, and he uses the confusion to decree the seizure of all the fair's inventions, causing the entire city of Girapur to be erupted in revolution! The renegade successfully defeats the consulate, but not before Tezzeret steals the most
So much for the tolerant left, for real.
Invention, a planar bridge which can transport non-living material across planes by fusing it into his chest and planeswalking away. The Gatewatch follow Tezzeret and end up on Amonkhet, a world mostly populated by zombies and sand, which is coarse and dry and gets everywhere. They make it to the plane's last remaining city, a gorgeous little slice of the world called Naktamun, where people from 5 different temples fight against each other in deadly competitions for the chance to pass from the city through the gates to the afterlife, where they are promised paradise. Chandra discovers a dissenter from the system, Samut, locked in a sarcophagus, and the Gatewatch disrupt one of these murder ceremonies just as the foretold arrival of the second sun begins the apocalyptic coming of hours. Turns out, though, that Armageddon both...
Jesus Christ, that honestly goes hard as fuck. I love me a pyramid being destroyed. Just because pyramids are very cool, and destruction is also very cool.
And also sucks. Nicol Bolas has been turning the champions of the trials into an army of Ultimate Warrior mineral zombies, and
hell yeah.
Now he unleashes them upon what few people remain on Amonkhet.
Not so hell yeah.
Turns out when he killed everybody older than a baby on the plane many years ago, he also destroyed all life outside this one city and brainwashed the 8 gods into believing that these trials had always been their world's way, so they'd feed him a never-ending supply of elite warriors. Oh, and all of the worker mummies that maintain this utopia are actually the reanimated corpses of all of the adults that the dragon killed when he first arrived on the world.
So he's not like a good guy per se, you know?
Wait, Did I say 8 gods? Yeah, 5 gods looked after the mortals, and then the last
The other 3 ones.
3 Bolus kept back to destroy the other gods and the city once they'd both served their purpose.
Got you.
The game
I
Fox
honestly, I forgot about that. I thought you just turned them all.
and defeat Bolus, but fail miserably, with
Skill
Jace
issue.
getting brain bazookaed so hard that he planeswalks away, and what few normal survivors
Hold on, what was that son? I don't think it's Super Smash Bros. It might be something else. But I like that noise.
there are after the Hour of Devastation.
Is it from Metal Gear? Metal Gear Solid?
Flee into the desert beyond the city. All of Bolus's murder machine gods attack the rest of the pantheon, killing most of them. But the red jackal Hazoret's memory.
And this is why Hazoret is my goat. I really liked Hazoret's designs in Ether Drift. So I started Magic with Ether Drift. I'll be honest, but yeah. So I liked Hazoret in that.
Returns as she is saved by Samut, and when thanked by her god, the speedster becomes a planeswalker due to pure spiritual euphoria.
Hell yeah, I
turns
guess.
out you don't have to experience trauma to have your spark.
So it's like a Sharon gun base. Planeswalkers are basically Sharon gun users, and not, or I guess Uchiha. So okay, that's kind of cool.
Ignite. Go figure. Before they retreat, however, Liliana finds and kills Razaketh.
So do Planeswalkers just never feel good enough to ever awaken their sparks normally?
The penultimate demon her contract is connected to. The gang fucks off to Dominaria, where Nissa points out that
Y'all
Liliana
dropped
has
the ball.
clearly been using the Gatewatch to go after the demons that hold her soul contract as opposed to doing anything else, and Liliana's like, that is a disgusting accusation with no basis in reality whatsoever.
You fucking mean no data? What do you mean I got no data? Hold on. Hold on. What? Why'd I go here? What is going on, bro? Yeah, it's live right now, because I'm making the video right now. What is going on? Alright. I mean, now the bitrate's fine. Fucking hell.
But since we just happen to be on Dominaria, there is this guy called Belzenlock that I kind of need to find, and Nissa leaves the Gatewatch. The rest stick around because they hear tell of the legendary Blackblade, which could be used to slay Bolus and bump into a few old faces. Joyra and Squee, who aren't old faces because they're immortal actually. Khan, who's busy searching for one of those thermonuclear serving plates to blow new Phyrexia up with. Teferi, who gets brought out of his family man retirement when Joyra gives him a power stone that holds part of his lost spark. Jaya Ballard, who reveals herself and begins to train Chandra in more powerful forms of pyromancy. And Liliana's brother Josu, who's a lich controlled by the Belzenlock-owned Cabal. They all find the Blackblade, take a trip on the recovered Weatherlight, almost get eaten by a handsome young man, defeat Belzenlock, and start working on their plan to take the fight to Bolus, when he just turns up and says, "You fools! Liliana's contract has a clause in the small print that upon the deaths of our 4 demon signatories, it defaults to me. I own her soul now. You fucking idiots, you absolute rubes!" And spirits her away. Then Jace turns up without a shirt on, everybody asks what he's been doing, and he says, "Smash cut to X."
I mean, fucking Vrashka. That's what I've been doing. I understand the appeal of Gorgons now, my boy. She fun as hell.
Ixalan a few weeks ago. Jace lands there with amnesia again and gets picked up by Vraska, who's now working for Bolus and runs a pirate ship. Girl boss alert!
If he
She's
ever
supposed
says
to
girl
be
boss alert again, I'm never watching his videos ever again. Oh my days.
the Immortal Sun, a fabled artifact which was the thing meant to imprison Bolus on this plane all those years ago, and which is also making it so that she and Jace can't planeswalk away from this tropical paradise.
God, I miss
Killing
my kids.
Vraska
Goddamn.
pities the utterly memoryless Jace and takes him aboard her pirate
Pity
ship.
feels like a strong
During
word, but
their
alright.
travels, not only do they find the legendary golden city of Arasa, where the sun is located,
But they also find each
also
other.
find each other. Yeah, that's right. The wizard cop and the Gorgon pirate are falling in love. Then, thanks to a clonk on his noggin, Jace gets all of his memory back, even the stuff from his childhood that had been purged by Alejandro,
Oh,
and
shit.
forgives
Oh, yeah,
Vraska
I
for all of
forgot.
her
Anyway.
misdeeds against him
Oh.
in the past. Vraska is also party to this surge in memory, becoming dismayed after seeing how heavily manipulative Liliana's relationship with Jace was. Fuck me, this story beat whip's ass. A collectible card game's tie-in digital narrative has no right to be as nuanced and touching as this.
I don't really know if it's a digital narrative, like tie-in digital narrative. If it's just what the card game is based around. It's more like it just is a book, and it is whatever. What like it's the reason why they sell the cards. It's either the game or the story. Like anyway.
Anyway, Jace wipes Vraska's mind with her consent so that she can work as a sleeper agent under Bolus for now, and Tezzeret collects the Immortal Sun using the planar bridge in his body when Vraska gives him the coordinates to it.
The
Huatli
coords.
is a native to the plane who planeswalks to Kaladesh after the sun is removed.
I remember
and
thinking of
starts
making Huatli into one of the planeswalkers in a Suki deck before. It did not go well.
to date an artificer planeswalker called Saheeli there, and Azor tries to stop them all. Pretty homophobic of you, Guy, but Jace wipes his mind and leaves
What?
him on the Azor tries to
Homophobic?
stop them all. Pretty homophobic of you, Guy, but Jace wipes his mind and leaves him on
Some of the shit he's saying is just completely random. Anyway.
the island that he himself arrived on. God, this guy loves fucking up Sphinx's minds. And the Sun
But they're sphinxes, so they kind of deserve it.
Empire of the island of Ixalan, now in control of the Golden City, foment a desire to sunset invasion the Iberian vampires that had been trying to do a colonialism on them. Oh, my patron here tells me that the plural of sphinx is sphinges. I'll let Eminem know we found another word to rhyme with orange. Hope you're tired of
Bruv.
good stuff, because here we get into the era of magic storytelling that made me fall out of love with the lore. Let's go!
Really? I mean, this is pretty nice lore so far, and I do agree that most of the time I really like this lore. I think this is because it becomes less block-like. I do believe that is why people liked it less. Why the fuck is Forsaken here? No, I was thinking of something else. Anyway, I thought that was some other trash game. Anyway, I said I was going to get up to it. I know that I probably should have gone through the whole video, but I have managed to turn this 80-minute video into a, which I haven't even got to 80 minutes yet, to a 1 hour and 54-minute video. It was meant to just, it's meant to be 51 minutes, and I've managed to add an hour and 3 minutes to it. So I think I'm going to leave a break there for today. Check this guy's video out if you want. His name is something Spice 8 Rack. It's at the, I literally have it at the beginning of the video. I've mentioned it once or twice throughout the video, but I'm not going to pretend I remember the actual name. But yeah, it's cool re-going through stuff. I do know most of the lore. Honestly, almost everything here I do recognize. He makes some random references that make no sense to me, but that's clearly because of who he is. I feel like I can tell you a lot of things about him just off of how he talks, and then off of certain references he makes nonetheless. But anyway, that's a different topic for another day. There are some random shit like the Mending and Original Ravnica. No, sorry, the Mending. Some of Magic Origins. What else? The Mirai Saga, like half of it I don't know. Weatherlight Saga and like the late bits of Urza Saga I'm a little bit lost on. But otherwise, like I know the rest of this, so that's pretty cool. That is though why I made the video a lot longer, just because it took me a lot of time to go over and process the things that I just didn't know. Anyway, so I'm gonna leave it off for today. We will come back either on sometime in the weekend or next Friday to just go back through this stuff. Tomorrow I will try to do the art stream that I missed yesterday. And yeah, maybe I can touch on DMC if I have an open day one of these days too. Since I did tell the #1 DMC fan that I would probably visit again. I finished DMC, I'm starting DMC 1. That'll be the idea for that one. So maybe that's either going to be Sunday or it's going to be Monday. I stream it at 3 p.m. I will probably be streaming at 5 p.m. or later for the next week because I'm going to be working. And then once we hit like September, midway through, I'll be switching over to just 5 p.m. streams because I'm back at uni. And that is all. Have a great evening, great morning, great afternoon, whatever time for it is. Good day. Goodbye. Ta-ta.